Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle.
Check it. This is Unique Hustle. It's your boy ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
None, you know, my dear, well gone. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. I mean all. I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101, and we will pop up, guarantee you, first in line. But if you want to see our visuals, you got to go over to our YouTube channel. There you can see all our visuals. Just hit subscribe and notification that you don't miss no episodes. But we do have some exclusive content that we've been hiding. And the only way you can get this exclusive content is if you go ahead and sign up for a membership. Because everybody be seeing us on the street and be talking about like, man, I love what y'all doing, keep it up. How can we support the brand? Well, this is how you can support the brand. You can go ahead and sign up for a membership. How you can do this is under each and every video, including this one right here in the description section. There's a link that says sign up for a membership here. Click this link. Click that link, follow the instructions, and that's how you can support the brand. And we thank you in advance, and we thank you for all this love and support.
Yo, hey, man. Say, man, listen, check it, man. We got a guy here today. It's the second time around. It's about to go down. Last time we was with him, we was down in New Orleans. Now we in Texas. Home base.
Home base, it is.
My guy, Mr. Serv is in the building.
What's happening, man? What's happening, man? What I got to do with the New Orleans with wine? What's happening, baby?
What's happening?
Man, it's good to have you on the show, man.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor, man. You know, so just, you know how mean you are, man.
Man.
That's how I feel about y'all. So,
man.
And I'm in y'all hometown. I'm in Texas, man.
You got to come by Boss Talk 101.
Oh, if I didn't, man, I mean, one, I'm scared of, you know.
Miss Jamaica.
You know, I don't want Miss Jamaica to run up on me. You know, and then you gonna let me know about myself.
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna definitely call and talk, man.
You know how to make the strongest men feel bad about they ain't keeping it 100, man.
No, but I couldn't wait to get you back on here too, because I be seeing you on social media always tackling a lot of really meaningful topics, and I'm like, man, I just love the way how you care about your people and you want to see change. You know what I mean? You're not scared to call out BS if you see something that's going wrong. You be like, man, why y'all doing this? You be in your car. Always in the car, and you be talking about stuff, and I love that.
But that's when they come, man. Like when I wake up in the morning, you know, first, of course, thank God I'm up. You know what I'm saying? Thank him with everything, man. And, you know, and then at the same time, it's like I automatically begin to look at the world, like what's going on in the world. And then I go from there to like what's going on, you know, in this country. And then I go, what's going on in my city?
Wow.
And then from my city, it's like my mind is like what's going on in the community. And then that just beams out bigger where it's like, okay, at the same time, you know, I want to be one of the heroes because it takes more than just one person, you know, to help our community, you know, but also I want to be honest with them at times. Like, you know, it's not always everybody else. We got to look within ourselves, and that's where a lot of that come from. And our community been going through so much, black communities all over the United States, that every day is something.
I heard you. And I appreciate you, you know, for always stepping up and speaking out and not being the one to just sit back. It's a lot of people that just sits back and they just accept things as they are. And you decide to be out there and put yourself in the midst of persecution just to make sure you get the word out from an OG perspective. I just want to say D1, he was on the show. I brought your name up because you was one that spoke out about his situation when he was going through it with Jim Jones, and he was going through it with, it was Jim Jones. It was a few of them, Meek Mills. It was some things that was said, and you stepped up and said, hey, man, it ain't going to be that easy. Or it's not going down like that. And I talked to him about it, and when I talked to him, he made me aware of the fact that they had did some talking behind the scene. And I was like, well, have you said anything? No, we hadn't did it publicly, but we displayed it publicly on here because I said you got people like Mr. Serv on and other guys who they gonna defend you with all honor. So they don't know that you guys have pretty much squashed it.
Right.
Y'all did it publicly, and then y'all left it out there, and that's not a good thing. And he agreed with me, so he started talking about it right there because he didn't think of it from that perspective.
That way.
What made you speak out about that, and do you regret speaking out about it?
No, I'm gonna tell you why. You know, for me, it was hurtful because I don't look at this thing of ours that I call it this rap thing, you know, as just money and something to do. You know what I'm saying? We are the reporters. We are, you know, and sad to say, we have become the influence of our young people. We are their voice. We are their scene. We are, you know, we're the blueprint for a lot of them, which we shouldn't be. And I always say that you know, a rapper, no athlete should be the greatest influence on our children. You know, it should be their parents. It should be their family, the village, you know, around them. And I think when you see that, it's like, man, I don't want the world that watches us so deeply to see, you know, because I know these guys are very intelligent. D1 is extremely intelligent. Jim Jones, no matter how much gangster Jim showed, one, Jim is solid one, he a real one. But Jim also very intelligent. That Dipset stuff and the looks and everything that went with them, he had a lot to do with that. That was marketing, that was branding. And it's like, I don't like to see us go at it like that. But at the same time, Jim comes from my generation. Jim knows how we, you know, all of us think. And I know Jim. I've seen Jim by himself. He maintains like a man supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like Jim, and my reason was, one, D is from New Orleans. That mean a lot to me. You know, you understand what I'm saying? And this is D, but I come up this way. Same way Jim come up. We speak the same language. So it's like, nah, that's not what you and him gonna do. If that's what needs to be done, let me stand there for him. You know what I'm saying? I'll stand there. I want him to go be who he's gonna be. That's not for him. And with Jim, even though we never got to speak about it, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, he would understand. You know, Wood was saying like, nah, that's not for him. And not saying D can't man up in the street and do what he has to do, but that's not the walk he walks. You know what I'm saying? That's not the walk me and him should do. Because as black men, that's not what we should be showing. But at the same time, it's like saying, I know how you stand, Jim. I don't mind standing that way. I come from that same situation, but I will stand there so he can go on to keep doing what he got to do, because he on his mission. And I'm not saying his mission is a bad mission. You understand what I'm saying? But it don't warrant nobody saying you gonna physically hurt him. And he from New Orleans. That's the little homie, and he's important. That I don't want him bothered in that way. So tell you what, if it's something got to be taken or got to be done, let's deal with that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where it comes from, man. Because you know, and even with Jim know what generation we come from. You know, and to even speak that way, you know what I'm saying? And that surprised me, because Jim was never one to just go that route. Jim would tell you, hey, I've been through some things. Like letting you know how we do. Like, I'm gonna let you know I've been through some things, but to say, well, one of my little cousins might, really? Okay, well, one of his big homies gonna feel this way. You feel what I'm saying? And then we all look crazy. And we all look like I hate to say this, the thugs and the ignorance of what they say we are, the animals. You feel what I'm saying? But at that point in time, I don't regret it, because it's like letting that young man know, I see your journey. I might not totally agree with all of it, especially calling out their names. You calling Jim name or calling the rest of them. That part didn't agree with. But I do understand what you're saying. But if that's what you own, little brother, I got you. Go do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And Jim, to me, and I respect Jim in such an immense way or whatever, would not, you know, but just the other ones, like even Joe Budden, somebody, okay, you know,
I seen that.
And for him, like, come on, stop, bro. You know, and there's no disrespect to Joe, and I will say this in the thing, but seeing you got into things, you understand what I'm saying?
He jumped in it.
And it's like, don't do that. And then you talk about shooting part and all that. Joe, understand where we from. I know how y'all are up north and think the world stops with y'all, but don't mention nothing about shots and this and that. Where I'm from, New Orleans, and from down south, periods like it is in Texas. You mention that. Understand what you're doing. Now you done took it further, you know, to a point where it's like, D cool on that, but we could do this. And that's what it is.
I told him, I said, when I broke it down to him about the that Mason-Dixon line, when I broke it down, he didn't even think of it like that until I'd say, look, let me tell you something, man. I say, Joe Budden, he talked about the Migos. He said they was this and that, and walked off. Disrespectfully, like he didn't want to hear the interview. Some people got in the comments, man, no, Joe, he didn't mean that. He did. And to be honest with you, that ain't the first thing. NBA young boy, you know, it's certain ones you hear him speak out about that you know where it's coming from. A lot of times they can't understand or relate to what we talking about, and that's cool.
And the difference is with New York, you know, a lot of them guys, you know, I mean, media and life have put them where their mindset is like New York is the apex, it's the top, right? And I'm like, man, y'all struggle even worse than the rest of the country.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? They go through it. They go through it out there. Police corruption, brutality is the worst in New York, man. I mean, the kids suffer there. Drug abuse. New York, I mean, and even the streets being clean and whatever, whatnot, man, the stuff that them young black people in New York and the brown people, the Dominicans and all them, that they go through is worse. You know what I'm saying? To the point than other parts of the United States. But they maintains this because media has put that in New York. You know what I'm saying? You know, and New Jersey is right there where they're from, you know, but that's still New York, you know, and that way they do it. And they stand on their mentality and don't understand, like, please understand. There's other parts of the United States. That southern region, very large. It's a lot of states. Yeah. And please understand that if it comes to that, just like Civil War back then.
That was crazy.
Now you can't come here, and here. Because y'all call us country bumpkins and all that, but we got cousins in every state. People in every state. Yeah. So now if you want to go there, you can't come here, and here. No, you sell here, and here, and here. And it's just that simple. Yeah. But a lot of them don't look at that. And that's how up north was with New York rap artists and things like that. A few of them, not all of them. They just felt like I'm from New York. And I stand above because this is where it started at.
Do you think that's why the schism happened? Because they were so proud and because they possessed it so hard that they didn't express love to the other regions like that? And you see what I'm saying? And it wasn't it wasn't done purposely, but it's okay to be proud of where you at.
It's how they are.
It is the Mecca.
I've been in the military, man, and dudes from New York, it's like until they got to know us from the South, it was like, I'm from New York. Y'all country, y'all don't know anything. And I remember being in the military, and the first night our ship pulls in the city, and first time all of us about to go hit the streets. And I had dudes from New York looking like, where you from again? Because they got polos on. I'm up coming out with a whole different polo jacket, ballets on, you know what I'm saying, Algebra jeans we wearing, and they looking like, and I'm like, bro, we don't see what y'all do up there. This is who we are. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, my dudes from Atlanta dressing the same way, doing their thing, and they looking like where y'all get that from? You know, and it's like, bro, they didn't make just one. You know what I'm saying? When a polo hit New York, it hit everywhere, right? Yeah. And, you know, and so they have that mindset. And when it comes to rap, because granted, like I have the analogy, and I think me and you talked about it before, New York is the father when it comes to rap. They're the father. The West Coast is that bad son. I always want to fight. Oh, think about West Coast artists. I always want to fight, right? Midwest is the quiet son. But you push him, you're going to have a problem. Yeah. The South is that son that's always thinking of a plan to make it and get money. Always got this going and coming and want to make that father proud and hope that father accept who they are as a man. You know, and that's New York. Yeah. Where it's like we always respect New York in every immense. You couldn't say Eric B, all of them, Big Daddy K. Love them dudes, we respect them. But then it got to a point where when a father decides, like, I'm not seeing you, Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna make you see me. I'm gonna make you turn one day and say I'm proud. You go do it on your own. And then the South comes from slavery, 40 acres and a mule. We want to own the lands that we pick cotton on. We want to own this independency, and we did that. Well, you know what I'm saying? Where New York wanted the scene. They'll take a bad deal from all the, you know, and I'm not disrespecting Russell, but Def Jam and the deals.
I was gonna say that, like
them.
Russell made some statements that kind of curved the ball for this situation to be like it is today.
Because the arrogance, and Russell is somebody who read his book, you know, that I idolize business wise, right? But he says some things also, but that's the arrogance of New York, man. You could watch one day. I think it's Stephon Marbury, little cousin. I forgot his name, man. Hell of a Sebastian Telford, right? They had players getting on the bus. Think it's McDonald's All-American, whatever. And they go to country boys, you don't know this and that. And one or two of them that he was talking to, he's out the league.
Wow.
Sebastian is out the league, but they became stars. And that's how New York. I'm from New York. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that's them. They have an arrogance about them. They loud. They have an arrogance about them. You know, they have a hustle about them.
I love the hustle.
But the smart ones, even more smart, because all of them, don't get me wrong, but the smart ones that see different, like Fat Joe, I'm going down there. And even Jay-Z might not have liked the words he said, but he said, I'm going to eat with the Bamas, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you don't like that word either, especially anybody from Alabama, you get yourself hurt. You know?
That's right.
But
why is the South? You said the South is looking for approval from its father.
At one time.
Yeah, but why?
Because
why you need the validation?
Okay, think about this the way you are in the South, right? Within the South, we have respect. We grow up with such great manners. You know what I'm saying? And with the fact of our mothers, our fathers, you know what I'm saying? And just to the point like, Pop, I want to be like you in the South. You know, that's how it was. Like if your dad was this man working on trucks in the South, you start being a mechanic. Everything about them. Now, so that respect factor. So now when you because in the South you pay respect. We pay more respect to our legends as artists. Like Bun B is God to me, no matter what.
Stop playing. I agree 100%.
And so you can't him pimp. You can't. You know what I'm saying? Lil J, Luke Skywalker.
You can't.
You know, it's certain names. If you say F them, I'm gonna go ahead and walk off right now from you. You know, give you time to think about that. Or just don't do that around me, right? So when you're with the South, it was more or less, New York was made so big with rap first. So it was like the thing of saying, you know, at one time a rapper was like, if my song get played on the radio, I'd have made it. So, but before that, it was, if they knew me in New York and they played my song on the radio in New York, I made it. Because it started there. That's where the biggest stars in the beginning were at. Because you got to remember, they were all on the magazines. They were the ones on tour. But even though Luke Skywalker and them was over there doing their stuff, Lil J and them at Rap-A-Lot was doing their stuff, on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, E40, who I always talk about, that was one of the first people to have a independent, like $2 million deal with the big white pool table on the Jive cover and everything. And down in L.A., everybody that was doing their thing, Easy and all them, but who was publicized the most saying, this is rap, this is hip-hop? They did. Even though what we were doing in all other regions were the same thing. So when you come in, it's almost like if your mind is saying, I'll give you a better example, football. Yeah, you want to make it in the NFL, right? But if you can put the Dallas Cowboys star on and play for the Cowboys, that sits even larger for football players. Even though I'm a Saints fan, right? Of course, and I'm like, boy, if I was young and I want to play for the Saints, I want to play in the Dome. Cool, right? But then if they call and say the Cowboys want you, and you like, man, I don't mess with them Cowboys, especially like y'all come down and try to take it back. But it's like, put that star on that helmet. America's team. It's different. It's a different feeling. I
gotta say, I gotta go back to when you said if they play the music on the radio in the club, you feel like you made it in New York. Gib came on the show and he talked about him and Soulja Slim being in New York, and he said, and I pulled the picture up. And when they was there, he said, if you look at the picture, you see Slim was kind of upset because the DJ had denied him playing the music. And he was saying because they played Juvie, music, but they didn't play his, he said, dang, maybe they'll play my music. But he was looking kind of sideways about it. So what you saying, it makes sense that New York, when you wanted New York to accept what you had going because of the way it came.
And then we didn't know no better at that time, right? You didn't understand that it was like New Yorkers didn't even get the respect they deserve. You know what I'm saying, as artists. You get what I'm saying? Think about how easy it was to where now a New Yorker, if they hear their music in New York, they're excited because they play more South and more different stuff in New York.
Now, yeah.
So now, but then it was like, it just was that thing like, they the father this, they started it. And in our mind, it was like, if I make it there, if they play my music there, because see, we had to start learning from the P's, the Lil J's, you know what I'm saying, the Luke Skywalkers and things like that, to like, you hear, we got 16 states?
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why you worrying about selling a record up there, being on the radio? If you want to be big and you want to be a star, you want to have this money, we got 16 of them. And
16.
Plus we still got the Midwest, because the Midwest accepts us and from the South, and then and then the next barrier be the West Coast, right? And so why are you worrying about that? But we did not understand the business aspect of it at one time. We just looked at the moral and character aspect of it, like, if New York play my stuff and they know me in New York, and that's another thing, that's where all the deals were at. Like Bun talked about this before, the deals were in New York.
Yeah.
To the ultimate thing, it wasn't even, like I said, until the Lil J's and the Luke Skywalkers, and they don't get enough respect, especially Luke and all them, with the independent thing, independent movement. Until that was pushed on us to understand, like, nah, you don't need to do that. You control your own destiny. We got 16 states. We good. You go gold along in Texas. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's about money, you go gold along in Texas. Wow. You know what I'm saying? If it's about becoming popular, you're going to be doing shows all across the South, 16 states, until we were taught that New York was always their destiny, and that's where the deal's at. And not knowing that the companies up there were giving them dudes bad deals, 5%, 10%. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, but once we were taught, like they always say, knowledge is power. And now, then once we start being taught and getting the blueprints and understanding, like Magic Mike doing, and I'm not talking about the stripper, everybody, and doing, impressing his own stuff going gold.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking at Luke, them doing show after show after show after show after show, selling all these records, right? And then you seeing what Scarface them doing. Then you see Bun B and Pimp come along. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, you might have job, they still was independent. You could talk to them, or you can get a song with them. You could do whatever. It was where, I hate to say it, and I'm sorry to say it this way, but I'm going to keep it 100. Master wasn't telling them they can't do this, do that. You get what I'm saying? And you start seeing it. And now when you start seeing it, it became, I'm not worrying about going up there and getting a deal. I ain't going to give me one anyway. Russell said what he said. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need that. I can stay independent, but yet, no, wait a minute. I got giants in the South. I got P. I got Baby. Got Luke. You got with God, I don't want to make my mistake. With A-Ball and MJG that own the label.
Tony Draper.
Yeah, man, it's my guy, man. Sorry about that, but and then you got, like I said, you got Lil J. You know what I'm saying? We got our own Russell Simmons now. So it's like, it's cool. We ain't worrying about that acceptance no more up there. It does not matter. Now it became, if Greg Street gonna play my song, I'm gonna get on the radio out here with in Dallas out here with Baby. You feel what I'm saying? Like now for me, even talking to artists is like, you get Baby to play. You like before it was like with New York, it's like you make it.
Funk Master Flex or somebody.
Yeah, you get Baby to play. You got Shreveport, Lafayette. You got Dallas,
everything down in the South,
everything,
baby.
And then the show's gonna come.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so and even in Houston, man, Coyote, all getting people. You like, I'm good right here. We had to learn. So, but it was because New York had the deals. Yeah. And that's why you wanted to make it in New York, because then you'd be one step closer to a deal. You know what I'm saying? And then once we start learning,
how did Bun B? You spoke to him earlier. Like, how did you really like when you first heard UGK and you first locked into Bun? That first album, man. It was great. You know what I'm saying? But how did you feel when you first locked into Bun? You know,
when with him and this might sound crazy. Him and Pimp, they different, but it's the same on the song. It's almost like this, and Bun might see this and say, Serv, you're tripping, but not in a bad way. It's almost like Pimp, the bad preacher that got the Benzes and the females and all that. You know, I hate to say it that way, the analogy. And Bun is that good preacher that's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm for the community, and y'all gonna do what's right. We gonna pray together and everything else, right? And the preacher that do right, and Bun is the preacher that I still give you your sermon. You know, I mean, Pimp is I still give you your sermon, but we gonna have a little fun also. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is, Pimp give it to you raw, right? But Bun give it to you smartly raw. Because if you listen to them, Pimp will be, I don't mess with no. You know what I'm saying? Where Bun would be like, Bun would do it in a whole different way, such a smoother way. And so when you hearing both sides, not saying the devil and the angel, but you hearing both sides, and then what they did also, a lot of people in the South, and people won't admit this, because they wanted to make it other place, they hid being country.
Yeah,
hid, they changed up, even, sometime the way they spoke and whatever would not. And they hid it. They hid everything about being country. But when you saw Bun, the way Bun dressed, you know what I'm saying? And the way he rapping and what he talking about. You feel what I'm saying? And when you sit down and think, Diamonds to the man, come on, man.
How
and cause.
But see, I kind of agree, but then I'm looking at like the Bun, that early Bun was ferocious, and he would say whatever when it came down to the streets and like the feds in town or B-U-M-B bitch, the things he was saying. I think it's like he evolved.
He did.
He evolved. Now Pimp, when it first came out, you're right, Pimp seemed to hide he couldn't hide that voice. I don't care how he tried.
He couldn't.
He say he tried, but all I'm telling you is
he couldn't.
Pimp got raw and raw as he went. He got raw
like
and
you feel
raw.
They switched.
I seen it. I seen it. Bun came early, but Bun aggressive.
But Bun was so to the point.
But still articulate.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you listen to Bun, it's like Bun say some stuff, man, where you just like, man, that's smooth, man. Where he just like you wanna articulate yourself. And then when you see Bun moves slow.
Oh yeah,
he take his time.
He ain't even tripping.
And then he's so real as a man and respectful when he see you and speak to you. His hand automatically go out. And he gonna ask you how you been doing. You know what I'm saying? Real genuinely gangster how he does what he do. Whereas like if you trying to figure out whether he bout some problems or not, you can't figure it out.
No.
Because the way you feel he looks you directly in your eye when he's speaking to you, and he will give you knowledge if you want to have that conversation. And you can respect that out of somebody, that is so successful. So legendary that, and how he handles himself. You know what I'm saying? And then you really never name one thing you ever heard. Every rapper get this, majority of the time. Name sometimes somebody said something bad about him. Or said he did bad business. Or said he wasn't right. Or say he did this on a song, or he refused to do this, or he didn't come through with this. Name one thing.
You can't.
I've never heard nobody say, man, and Bun B would he never. Because I think if they did, you got a lot of people to deal with.
You better see it again.
Yeah, you better go back and see if you could find the video and get it completely erased off the internet, because the love he have and the respect he have is to a point like, y'all can have it on camera, and we probably look at it and say, That wasn't Bun that did that. No, man, it's on camera. You see what Bun just did. Bro, Bun B didn't do that.
Man, you know,
you can't tell me that. Bun B didn't do that, dog. That's a clone. We gonna come up with all because he named one person that would say Bun did him wrong.
When you go back to his music, you remember when he did that like solo album, and he talked about. I'm trying to remember the song. I was trying to remember it. He talked about, you know, the whole experience with Jive, and he talked about that whole thing. What did you think when you heard him just spilling the whole, you know, what was happening, you know, with him? It was like therapeutic.
But Bun is that, yeah, but Bun is that guy that if he speaks up and he's angry, right, you know it's like you mad now. And you can't, you know what I'm saying? And then to know anybody would try to get over on him. You know what I'm saying? He's not a challenge like some people like, I'm gonna out hustle you before you out hustle me. It's not with that. So when I was hearing that and what he was going through and dealing with, it was astonishing.
Because you didn't know, they kept it so player, and when you would go buy the albums and stuff, you thought they was all, you know, all in and everything was good. Every time I would go to wherever, Music Warehouse or wherever to get those, every time they came out, I was buying those
and
CDs.
Didn't know,
I didn't know the situation. I didn't care. I love their music, and I felt like because their stuff was wrapped and on the shelf, I felt like we were good.
But you know the difference was, it's like today. And I don't think if Bum would all that happened today, he would do it. He wouldn't do it where it's done today, because we so used to now, like if a rap artist going through something that's being done wrong with whatever situation, they right here where I'm standing there, letting the world know, going off and tripping, and you know everything, right? I still think Bun wouldn't do that. Now Pimp gonna speak his mind. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, and it's like you said, you never knew they was going through what they were going through and what he was dealing with in, you know, in this situation. And I think, you know what I mean, and that's a testament to the old ways, the old Southern ways. You know, where as a man,
nobody knew.
You don't let, you know, I remember my grandmother's show would say this type of stuff, you know, bless her, you know, she you don't let the world inside your house.
Same thing.
It's not their business, and you take care and handle what you got to handle, so the world won't try to come back into your house. Even as vocal as Pimp is, he didn't say nothing either. Nobody knew what was going on. But pride, and then at the sense of too, because when you a man's man like them two, they men's men. This ain't no wavering with them two. You know what I'm saying? You be around them and you know they were a man's man. Man's man don't want nobody to know. That's like the drug dealer on the corner that been rolling and rolling and rolling. Somebody finally test him and they take something from him. And nobody know that he can't kill him. That's his cousin. That's somebody close to him. That's maybe a little brother that nobody know. So he got to keep it quiet. The world can't know that was taken, because then everybody else gonna come for him, when they always thought everything was tight and he was that real one. So they couldn't do that. They couldn't get in, because what they stood on was always business. Before it was fashionable to say that, them dudes stood on business. So if you find out that, damn, look how they being done. And then they was early in the Southern
They were early.
days. So,
they had the professional look before everybody, right?
And the Southern,
Kiki talked about that. He was like, man, they had a tape. You know, you were saying that on the first time I interviewed him. They had a tape, man. We couldn't believe like somebody had, because that's how early it was in the game. People didn't, you know, people wanted to be on them shelves, you know. Yeah. And P was like that too. It came real early with it, man.
And I mean, P went through things, man, that he had to fight for and deal with, but you would never know. And even I wouldn't speak on it. You know what I'm saying? The things that he had to do to make people understand, like, okay, y'all got over, but I'm gonna fix it and I'm gonna figure it out, and you will never eat on me again. And but I think them being, and with the South, I think one thing we've always been, and I'm always make the comparison. We have this level of embarrassment because we're taught it as we were growing up. Don't embarrass me. How many times your mom or somebody said, "Don't embarrass me"?
Oh, we go in this store. When we go in this store,
yeah, Don't embarrass
You learn that as a kid
Yeah.
very early.
So-
you get a speech before you go in that damn show.
If you touch something, you know what we coming in there to get. You get pop, or you get that little pop in your back where nothing come out of your mouth wide.
Yeah, yeah,
nothing
yeah.
come out. Yeah. But we have a level of embarrassment that we will not let you look at us other than with the way we've showed you who we are.
Yeah.
So if we going through something, we gonna fix it and we gonna get through it. Unless somebody around that's weak, you will never know we went through that. And then we all in the South, we have always had to, if we saying we independent and we ain't worrying about New York and the deals and all this, we could never show that anything was done wrong to us or our business wasn't handled. Because we're saying to the world, forget going sign with these majors, stay independent, do what we do. So we have to show that being independent is correct, even though it might be a distribution deal through one of them labels.
Yeah.
Right? And so we have to show, because we're pushing this out here like, mess with me because I'm independent. You know what I'm saying? We done picked enough cotton. You know what I'm saying? Now we growing it for other people to pick it. You know what I'm saying? And it won't be us. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna be the owners. You know, we the owners of the plantation. You know what I'm saying? And our people ain't the ones on it now. So we could not show that. Them dudes come from a different pimp and them, P and them, baby them and all that. You would never know anything they had that wasn't going right, because every deal is never gonna go right, especially when you start making a bunch of money. When you with these companies, as I call them, the machine, they see it. They might halfway believe in you and give you this deal, but they sometimes did not prepare for you to say, phew. And now you just selling everywhere. You that guy, this and that, your label, this company, and now they got to sit down because they're greedy. It's by nature. We got to figure a way to get into this and that. And then they already had some clauses to make sure that happens. So now when it start happening, you as a black man, now you got a choice. If it's the streets, I'm going to tear your head off. You're playing my money. But then you got this in your mind. You're a businessman now. So now you're looking at them and they done played with you. And it's the same thing as that Movado and that manhood of saying, even if I have $5 in my pocket on the street, you ain't gonna play me. They done did it, and it looks even worse. You know, especially if you've been pushing independence. And so now you got to maintain, and you got to keep it quiet. And for a man, that's hard to know. I can't touch you. I can't say about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's rough.
I got a question. So I noticed that, or I heard that Birdman's supposed to be getting a street named after him down there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So, and congratulations.
And P just got one too.
That's what I was trying to see. So he already got his.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think I saw the ceremony, you know what I'm saying, and it's going to have, you know, thank the street where he grew up on, you know what I'm saying. And they deserve.
So what's it going to be named? It's going to be named Masterpiece?
I think it's called Percy Miller. I think
Percy Miller.
Is that happening?
Both of them were baby. They announced babies.
I know they announced,
and,
but
him and Slim. And
shout out GD, because GD done worked on that. Who else did worked on that? It was somebody else.
Something Hudson.
Yeah, but got it. We got a hell of a councilman. He gonna get mad with me because I'll be forgetting his name. We got a guy in the council, man, city council. This guy's of the culture, man.
But I'm so glad that they're getting recognized to that point.
They deserve
down
it.
there, because I know Jamie Foxx. They named Jamie Foxx way down there in Terrell, Texas. Finally, this was years ago.
About 10,
well, I used to go
years
get first one got my cow cut up. You know, I never knew you could do a cow there in Terrell, Texas.
David Hudson is who.
David Hudson. I knew it was
the one who
something
helped him do that.
Yeah.
But it's just something, man, to see. I like the fact that it's happening for hip hop artists.
Right.
You know, for Tupac it happened. For Eazy-E it happened. But theirs happened.
Yeah.
But it happened after death.
Yeah.
Think about what's happening with New Orleans. You gotta.
These
They're
people are still alive.
And I'm gonna be honest with you.
Jamie Foxx still alive, and he's got.
That's
his.
big.
Right.
That's huge.
But you know, the biggest part is to watch a little young kid, and he looking at that street corner and see what they doing over there. And then he looking at his phone and he like, man, these boys, they look like me. They got a street named after them. How did they do that? Now they give them a whole different mindset. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm not being funny, but KLC He loves
Shout
the
out to
Cowboys,
KL.
right?
That's my boy.
And he made
He
me go
does.
downtown Landry Boulevard whenever we usually here driving. And now we sit down and how important that was for him to just drive downtown. I don't care. He just wanted to drive, right? Now as a man, you sit down and you look at the fact I'm going to be driving up Baby and Slim past that. Peace, past that. These people I know. I just said in the song where it's like, you know, you guys deal with, you know what I'm saying, y'all grew up with dudes that scamming out of Nordstrom's and Macy's. I grew up with P. Miller and Baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a difference.
It's a big
You know
difference.
what I'm saying? And so, and they deserve it. When you look at between them two dudes, them three guys, right? You know, because always people, Slim's so quiet, people, you know,
Overlook him
Sugar
sometimes,
Slim, yeah,
right.
you know, but he's the brains. He's the brain and Baby. And now
But let me just say this for you, and you can finish. But Silk have took on a big task for me this morning.
Mm-hmm.
That he's gonna work on getting me him and P and Slim and Birdman here on Boss Talk 101. I put a big boulder on his shoulder.
He
I
can
say
get it
you
done.
need to go work on that.
He gonna get mad. He gonna get mad at. I'm gonna tell you, he gonna get mad at me for saying this because he's so quiet.
Yeah,
Boy, it's a hell of a businessman.
that's why I told him. That's the reason I told
People
him.
don't know that, man, and I told
He
him
talked
it's
about it
time.
today. He
little
talked
bit.
about it a
Because I
little
be
bit.
on him about it. I'm like, Slim, they need to know.
He said that. He said
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in this corner who is pushing him to step out of the background and to come into the forefront.
We have a business manager, secret weapon. She don't like nobody to know. You know what I'm saying? We have black females that are our business partners and business consultants that are beasts. You know, and I can't say her name. I'll just say Dream Management is one of the companies, right? And she's always on him. And just like I be on him, but she's on him. And then our other Kimmy, I could say Kimmy name. You know, these black women that are just exceptional business wise. I mean, they come in right now. You start a business or your business is failing, they come in and they get it in structure, get it straight, and then next thing you know, you're flourishing. But they be on him a lot, you know, because the world really needs to know that Silk is, yes, he's going to always be P, little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's always going to be Silk the Shocker. But they have no idea the things that he is responsible for, TV-wise, business-wise, concerts, not just No Limit. It's so much more. And I always tell them the world needs to see that side of you. They need to understand who you really are.
Now loop back to, because I don't want the people to get mad at me. See, I'm learning a little bit now. Let's go back into the fact of Slim and Birdman and you know and
Baby.
P.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Because that's what I stopped you.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this, and people gonna get mad, and I like it. I don't care. You know, I like fighting, so you know it's all good. I like we get in the middle of the street with whomever. You know what I'm saying? But you put them three guys together, what they have accomplished. Look at the numbers. Forget the streaming era. You know what I'm saying? Because baby, Cash Money, them they didn't killed it in the streaming also, right? Go back to CDs, physical. You talking almost 200-300 million sales. You feel what I'm saying? Between, we talking 400-500, damn near $1 billion made between three men from a small city. That's probably not even 5 miles wide, long, whatever, whatnot. And from the same area that's nothing but about 15, 20 blocks deep, you know, square miles, right, uptown. They have sold arguably two labels, heads of two labels. You can combine the whole rap game. We're going to talk about CD sales, that era. Put them all together and they outsold them.
Wow.
I want you to think about, they look at the numbers that each one of them sold. You feel what I'm saying? And then you go back to put the cities together and what they've sold. Those three men, that was over two labels, what they have done. And that's not even counting, just take away Young Money. We're not going to even talk about that. Just put Cash Money and No Limit. Those three men orchestrated, arguably, even though they were gifted the passion of independence from Lil J and Luke Skywalker. And people, and they're going to say, he keeps saying Luke Skywalker, go learn.
Yeah, that's true.
Because none of us could be doing this without him.
No,
That's
no.
another story. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're gonna get into it if you want to, because I really
want people to really know.
I know Luke.
Yeah.
You know, far as the way
He don't get his respect.
No, but he definitely deserved it, because
deserve it.
before everybody, you couldn't even curse the way he was cursing, and he paved
man
the
was
way
going to
for
jail.
hip hop to be able
Freedom
to
of
speak
speech.
the way they speak. And he stood on it, and he stood on it.
To the point of going to jail.
To the point of going to jail.
Went to court.
Wow.
Yeah, so Luke don't get it. I don't think he get his fair share as well. But I do know that he's definitely one of those guys, man. That he for the South. Like I said, he's one that you can't deny him. But we do talk about Master P.
Yeah,
we do talk about Birdman, and we do talk about Lil J.
Yeah,
but
but
we a lot of times sometimes forget to say his name. But he's definitely one of those guys.
You know how I address Luke and Lil J? Godfather.
Real talk.
I don't call Lil J, how you doing? If I say Godfather, what's happening? Or the Godfather. Luke, the Godfather. That's the Godfathers of the South. It's two of them. You know what I'm saying? You got P, baby, you know what I'm saying, and them. But when you talk about the heads, those are the two. You know what I'm saying? And you have to respect that. And Luke don't get as much as, you know, Lil J, because it's more than, you know, it's Florida over here. And Florida way over here. Where Texas, Louisiana is all right here. You feel what I'm saying? And so, and then, you know, it was more or less like what came from Texas. Scarface. I don't have to say nothing. Not just UGK, and understand respect. Face. So when you think Face, who arguably
that's your greatest of all time.
That's my GOAT.
Yeah.
So, and where the GOAT came from?
Rap-A-Lot.
And who owns Rap-A-Lot? Lil J.
Lil J.
So his name gonna always be where you pop. But then when you look at Florida, even though Luke opened the door for a lot of Florida artists, they themselves didn't say Luke's name. Think about how many Florida artists, you know what I'm saying, that really in a song said, you know what I'm saying, Luke opened that door for me. Name, I don't know one. I really don't know too many outside of Ross. I've heard Ross say something, and it might be in interviews. But name anybody on the song, because you got young ones now in these days that talk about, say, P and Baby name. In Texas, you had people like come to play with Lil J and rap.
Sure.
You know, Luke didn't get that respect like he should have got in his own state by artists that came out of that state. Whereas in Texas, you gonna say Lil J name, and you gonna say Rap-A-Lot. In Louisiana, whether you like New Orleans, you gonna say Baby and P, Cash Money, and other Southern people gonna say that.
Yeah. When
they should say both, you know. So, but
yeah, and you got it. Like I said, man, it's so many. I was telling, being that Webby and them was there with y'all, Turkey Mail. You know, certain people, they don't get Turkey Mail, but they don't talk. They quiet. They so in the cut to where they don't even want to. They ducked off. I've been on them lately. Man, I mean, we need at least something out here because it can educate our people.
Who they remind you of? They remind you of Lil J, where you don't see J. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Lil J or whatever, whatnot. They don't remind you. You know, they remind you of that. Whereas like we know they existed. You know, because I was there when, you know, we was at KL Studio when Ron Spalding, great Ron Spalding, came down, and he was there to meet with Mel and you know what I'm saying, to get the trill and everything that was going. And we, you know, he was sitting there asking us, and I'm like, yo, this kid Boosie, these little dudes that they got, this is different. And it's different from New Orleans. It's different from us. You know what I'm saying? And so we basically, was young. Who we saw our first big chick with a big ass and big thighs? Luke.
Luke put it down.
Luke. I mean, but just the point of even change the way, if you grew up and the girl was slim, right?
They thought that was cute. That's what they thought.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Luke showed you different. So any female
Luke showed you different.
Yeah, it showed you difference. And then he gave you like a variety show that white people was always doing it, because it was a variety show. When he doing what he got to do. You got the girls, you got the dancers. It's like back in in the older days when white people, when the carnival come to town, and you like, oh my God, look, you know, the animals, this, that, and that. But then when you go to Luke's show, and then they come out and you like, God damn.
Well, he made it. I first seen him. I seen it probably. It had to be early on down in the country. He came down by Shreveport, in East Texas, where I'm from, and it was crazy, man.
I think he got it.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So man.
It was like if Luke came to your city,
it went down.
It was like the carnival was coming to a small
and the girls.
City.
They would come out,
and
show out,
and they was
because they wanted to come and show out when that nigga come to town.
Luke could pick them up.
They come to show out when Luke pull up.
Man, we gonna talk about that because that's
we talking about it. We rolling. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, they come to show out.
But when you think about it, because the world, like I said, and the white people, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? They was with the size 2 waist, right? Luke can easily say you could be responsible for the BBW and everything else. Or the fine chick with the thighs, and even the girl in school, because at one time, and I knew this, they would tease black females, you know what I'm saying? If you got this, you got a big old nose and all that, and they would be embarrassed. See, when Luke came along, you start looking at her different, like, damn, she kind of fine. She looked like a what? Luke dancer.
Yeah.
They became a term. If a girl was built, had thighs, and had some butt, right? She was called a what? A Luke dancer.
Yeah.
You got labeled like, so then girls start saying, well, I'm not fat. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine like a Luke dancer. He changed a lot.
It was a wave of that stuff going on when you had a tag team and all them. You know what I'm saying? All them people was coming out. They birthed from Luke.
Yep, my boy Uncle Head with Splack Pack and all them. Yeah, man.
So that was a whole movement,
he had
man.
A tree. Yeah, he has a tree. And to me, anybody do a song and they're talking about, thank you, Queen, and they talking about her thighs, her ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the curse or whatever.
No, they got that from Luke.
They got that. Who you think started that?
Yeah, Luke was doing that first.
He changed, and it's crazy, and I don't think he know, and I hope he look at this. He don't know. He changed the way black men looked at black women. It was all right. You're not fat, sweetie. No, you got some nice thighs. You got Luke Skywalker thighs. You got Luke Skywalker body. And then even white girls that was that size, that white guys would call fat and pigs and all this other stuff, right? Now you looking like that was measurement of fine. So if they was built like that, built Lakefield, built like a Luke dancer, girl, Luke set a whole standard. And then, like I said, it was like he came to town. It was like the carnival coming to some little small town in Kansas. You got to see the show.
Yeah.
You listen to the music.
Yeah.
But you went there because you know what he was about to bring on that stage. You know what I'm saying?
What did you think about when him and Drake got into it? Hip hop went crazy right there.
Man, the crazy part of that, that's where we ran into P at Jack the Rapper's.
We talked about that a little bit last time. And
Luke Skywalker and Devereaux. I could tell you what Luke them had on there, yellow shirts with a red 305 on it. From Miami. And when that happened, it was like, this was the crazy part about it. You get caught up because LA to Louisiana, that's where the migration, for the civil rights. A lot of people from Louisiana went to Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? And so you had cousins in LA, and so we was relating to Dre and them. You know what I'm saying? Because we wore khakis.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And we related to that. We related to that look, to that music because of the relation. But then Luke was our fun side. Luke was everything, right? So when they start having their beef, it was almost like, man, I don't want to listen to that Snoop song, man. If it's banging though, you know what I'm saying? If it's banging now, you know what I'm saying? When 187 with my man, you just like, but then you got Luke them where it's like, man, them boys in Miami and Florida, they serious. You felt like that was gonna be the clash of the Titans. You got LA, California, they warriors, they soldiers. And you got Miami, they soldiers, they real ones. So you never wanted them to get close to each other because you knew it would be bad. And then you have somebody like Luke who you think is all about ass shaking, but he a real one.
Yeah.
Very real one.
Yeah.
Very real one. And then you got over here you know what I'm saying, with the Yeezys and all that stuff, and you know, real ones, and you got Snoop, and you know he's a Crip that's back. You know, it's like you looking, and then it's like we love their music, but Luke from the South.
But when he said gap teeth in your mouth so much,
man,
that crossed the line.
Hey,
some things you just don't say.
Yeah, because that's when you start leaning more or less like, we from the South. That's the Godfather. It's like mob stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta roll with the family. So it was more or less like, you know, we rock with y'all over there, but you didn't cross the line. You didn't cross the line. You playing with our Godfather.
Yeah.
You know, we love you, Snoop. You know what I'm saying? Dre, we love you. You know, we love it all, but that's us right there.
I didn't see that coming. I seen the Eazy coming, you know, but the Luke, this part of that song when it first came out, it caught me by a total surprise.
I think, but then it goes back to what I was saying.
Because he dissed both of them in that song.
But it goes back to what I was saying. The West Coast being that son that likes to start shit and likes to get. Think about where all the beefs, a lot of beefs go. We're gonna keep it 100. If you look at, sad to say, Pac and Biggie, right? Biggie was quiet. Pac kept coming and coming and coming. That's that West Coast. That they warriors, man. And it's like once it start, they want it. And they gonna keep on and keep on and keep on and keep pushing.
Well, you got Suge, it may take on a whole nother level as well.
Yeah,
it got real serious real fast.
It got real serious, and that's what bothers me with a lot of things today. You know what I'm saying? Because we lived through that, and you lived through it. You know this. A lot of these youngsters don't really know what was going on. They don't know that it was a separation. You know, Biggie came to New Orleans, but Pac was New Orleans was a Pac place. They booing this man.
Yeah, it's
like if they could touch him then, God, so they would have.
Yeah,
it got that serious. The lines were drawn. You know, even if we liked, you know, P was close to you know, Pac, so it was more or less like, you know, he never was the type don't listen to Biggie music because we love me all and we love, you know, Biggie music, but you can tell that West Coast the lines were drawn. So even and people don't realize how serious that was during the Pac and Biggie thing. Lines were drawn.
It even got more serious when he passed and P made that song. When he made that song and he had Tupac feature on there, that was after he had passed.
Yeah.
And he was really giving it. He was giving it. He was saying that from it was coming from his heart, man.
Man,
he
might get upset. Y'all think he could get upset, man, because he could respect this. I remember, and for us, you know, we were in Cleveland and Gun Arena. We was coming. Scarface was on that ticket. Who else was on there? I can't remember. It was West Side Connection.
Okay.
Right? And we remember we performed. And in fact, and it lit a flame under P, but he wasn't mad. You know what I'm saying? Scarface wanted everybody that was on that side standing there to move when it was daytime to perform. And he kind of looked, oh, he'll move. I'm going to remember that. Like, it was more like we coming, but we would never be handled like this again.
Yeah.
And he, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, we about to roll out. But that's when we heard they were still screaming No Limit after we had performed.
Wow.
Our time was so, we knew it was our time. And just so ironic, we get back to the hotel. And then the news came. So now we waking up to Biggie is gone.
Wow.
Right? And so, you know, I remember where, you know, it was like they funeral and stuff, and, you know, we was talking around, and P was like, nah, ain't none of y'all going out there. We don't know what's up. Y'all ain't going to that. You know, it was like we wanted to pay, you know, respects because we was fans of it. And here, you know, in so many ways, I think, got to talk to him, meet him and stuff like that. You know, we respected that, but P was like, nah, y'all ain't going out there.
Wow.
Right? You know, you never know what's going on. But then I understood it's Pac. You know what I'm saying? But when that happened with Pac, I saw his face. I saw somebody that was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like you took a brother away from him, like hurt. Like literally, and you looking at your leader. That's your leader. You know what I'm saying? And you look to him to lead. but you watching your leader lay across a bed, and you know what I'm saying, basically like just got shades on, getting up, he moving around slower, and usually we running and wherever we going, you know, the things we doing. He just, that was one of them days where it looked like he wasn't doing no running to the stores. He was like, we went back to our apartment, and all of us was like that anyway because it was Pac. You know what I'm saying?
Was it a form of therapy when he made that song? If you had a this, you'll pull it.
Yeah.
Ride till we die. He was pushing that verse out, and he was singing that verse like he was giving it up.
He was mad. He was angry to the point where, because we live by never getting into beefs. Real men don't rap about other men on records. Don't talk about.
I heard him say that.
You know what I'm saying? But he was angry. He was angry to the point of like, y'all took something from me. You know what I'm saying? And I think if he didn't be that mature, controlled person, you know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of things might have been said from our end. You know what I'm saying? Because he was angry.
But he knew how to keep his composure too, right?
At that other coast, but he just kept his composure. He stayed out of it and left it alone. But I saw hurt on his face, man. Like literally just riding around, we in the car, quiet. Because, you know, on the way to shows, I used to always have, in the bus drive, I used to have the mixed CD with all Pac stuff. And that's what we would play on our way to shows. Like, and I would have everything on there, you know what I'm saying? And we, you know, especially, you know, love Pac. So we would have certain songs on there, and you could tell that's what get P going. We used to be on the bus. And when that happened, you know, when you've been seeing your leader so strong and leading you, and then you watch him in a vulnerable state because he was hurt. Like when that happened to Pac, he was hurt. He was quiet for a while. And then you could see anger things with him, you know, and then it was to the point like anybody on that side, he didn't want, you know, really deal with him. But then he caught himself and just be who he was. But that took a toll on him.
I think it's the same thing with Pimp C. It was the same. Yeah. They both was the same way about Pac.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
you and you know and I always think about Pimp C because Pimp and P had their issues or whatever. You hear about it all. It's all everywhere on the internet. But the thing is, I mean, they had this love for Pac, and not only that, when they came in the game, they had this connection. You know, like I told Silk this morning, my favorite song by him is a Player from the South. Like, cause I love that song because of the way and they were talking about the hustle, the whole song. Yeah. And I was hustling at the time.
And then
you know what I'm saying? They talking about the hustle, the whole song.
A lot of dudes say that, man.
The whole song, every verse, everybody talked about the game.
And because you related, and then the cars
I was doing it.
And they had the
I was driving them.
And you got exactly. The whole look of it. Everything. You not everybody was dressing there like with how everybody was out there hustling.
Yeah, hustling and doing their thing.
You know what I'm saying? And it was this, but with them two with Pac, and I think with a lot up down south with Pac.
Oh, same thing. You see his picture right there. You know, I'm gonna keep it right here.
Pac represented struggle to us.
Yeah.
He represented like, you know, like they say the rose that grew from the concrete. You know what I'm saying? And so we resonated with him, with everything. It wasn't so much as our woke people in the community like Mia and them, you know, Mia, because of her parents and stuff like that, you know, especially her mom and things like that, you know, they were on the part of the Black Panther part of Pac, you know, activist part. You know, some of us hadn't got there yet, but what we was more up on, you know what I'm saying, the struggle. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For me, like the song Unconditional Love, I listened to that song and I'm like, I can relate to it. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to be a burden because I'm so many years behind my brother and sister. When he said that in that song, you know, watching cartoons, but don't want to be a burden to, you know, to my mama, because that's what I felt. I was behind, and she had to still work extra jobs to take care of me, and I'm 15 years behind everybody. I used to feel I was a burden, and my thing was, I'm gonna go in these streets, I'm gonna do what I gotta do, because I don't want to be the problem. I don't want my mama to have things, and I don't want to be the reason why she's struggling. I'm watching her come home with sandals on. When she take them off, she done warm and they so tight you could still see the strap print on her feet.
Wow.
Because she working 3 jobs and she coming home. You feel what I'm saying? And when he did that song, you could relate to Pac when he's like, you know, Unconditional Love, and you know, And even with music, when all the lights and screams scatter, only my dreams matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Within music, he was foretelling you. You know what I'm saying? And just so we resonated with him more down south, and then the anger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Frustration.
And then
You
the
know?
little guy, the little skinny guy, the little
Oh,
small
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Pac let you know. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's like you resonated with that.
That nigga would
You
say
know?
it ain't easy being me. Will I see the penitentiary or will I stay free?
Bruh.
Niggas was going through stuff.
Still are.
And he would calling it out.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a lot of songs that was
Look
it was
his interviews. He said,
His
I'm
interview.
looking at Donald Trump. You know, before people get scared, all the blacks for Trump. I ain't talking about your guy. And he said, how could you have that much money and somebody be starving?
he was young.
You know how real that is?
Yeah.
How do you have that much money and there's kids don't have nothing to eat?
He talked about the White House too. He
Yeah.
said, why would y'all want to keep it nice? If you got homeless, why not bring them in there? He said analogies that
Yeah.
where it just took all the politics out of it. If you're really trying to help, but for him to be that young and speaking on subjects like that, he only lived to be 25.
Yeah, and that's when people really don't think his knowledge and who he was. You would think this man, he was 50, 60 when he died. He was 25 in a materialistic world where mind could have been easily on the usual female clothes, jewelry. Yeah, he did all that, but his passion and everything, who he was about community, about activism. And it's like at 25 years old, the things that he spoke about that still resonate today, like what's going on right now. You know, and people names that he spoke, like I said, bringing Donald Trump up. He said this back then about this man having this much money, and now this. Could you imagine if he was alive and Donald Trump has been president and about to become president again? I hate to say it. You know what I'm saying?
You think he gonna make it?
Man, honestly, the difference is poor people, we end up doing time. Rich people, they just end up having pictures on TV and they end up just being free. You feel what I'm saying? And he's not, I feel he's not, even though they're trying so he can't run. You know, you got to look, it gets deeper for me.
You don't think it's going to work?
No. And because you got to really think about the people that have to make those decisions, whether he's guilty and he do time. Who are they? That's his people.
This system is about money, power.
Exactly.
And he deals with representing that very well.
And then also you got to really sit down and think.
But they don't like the fact that they can't control him.
Yeah, but
and then at the same time is he's unpredictable to people.
Yeah.
Because you might think, well, he come from the rich, but then people will say certain things, but he don't like nobody. He don't even like he don't like white people himself. Sometimes he would tell you, if I don't like you, I don't like you. And he's a wild card that he can't be controlled. And then in Washington, it's about control. I'm gonna control you. I need you to say this or be this way, do this and pass this bill and that bill.
You're a pawn.
You're not gonna control him. You feel what I'm saying? And I think, and that's the wild card thing about him, where you don't know. Will he get us into World War III? Or will he turn this into a civil war? Or we all gonna prosper? You feel what I'm saying? And so you don't know with him. And that's just the point.
I got a question. I was looking back on some of your pictures. I know that when you were younger, you didn't have, is it cataract you have in your eye?
Neovascular glaucoma.
Glaucoma.
So I lost myself, yeah.
Okay. Because my dad, my mom, they had it, but not to that extent. How old were you when you first? Because your pictures that I see, you didn't have problems.
What was crazy, man? It was about 11 years ago, and I messed up. And it's so crazy. I was living here.
Really?
And one day I just woke up and my eye was hurting real bad. And at first I thought it was because I got helping a friend of mine. He got in a fight or whatnot. And, I got hit in the eye, you know what I'm saying, by, I guess, like part of a pool stick or whatnot. So I'm like, okay, that went away. So I'm thinking, and I never had no problems or whatnot. And so I woke up and I had a very big opportunity to go to Nashville to shoot a video and make a amount of money. So it was a couple of days before I was supposed to do that. So I took in, and vision started getting hazy. So I'm thinking I got pink eyes, something like that. And so
you had 20/20 vision before that?
Yeah, and the pain. Well, I wore glasses, but my vision was still real good.
Okay.
But I never had problems all them years.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking it's from that altercation.
Right.
So, but the pain started getting ridiculous, man. And then my eye was red and stuff like that. And I'm
that
like,
quick?
Okay. Yeah, and so.
How fast did it happen?
Yeah.
It's like a couple of days.
But it,
Just a couple of days?
Yeah, it can happen. And
fast?
And so I'm like, I got to go to the doctor. So he so happened to be about to go to the U.S. Open to watch the U.S. Open, right? So he told me my pressure was up in my eyes. So he gave me these drops. And so it cleared. Like, you know what I'm saying? It cleared. So now I could see, no problem. But then he told me, he said, you're not going anywhere. I kept saying I'm going. He said, don't get on that plane. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's going on with the pressure in your eye, the altitude. I'm here. I'm not trying to drive to Nashville. So I flew. And I got there, and I was doing what I needed to do. And I got back to the hotel, and I felt pain I ain't never felt in my life.
Wow.
Like, it was that pain of calling my mama, like, mommy. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and at first I thought, because I was drinking tequila, I'm like, oh, God damn, this Jose Cuervo, I mean, it's about killing me. And so I was like, I can't. And we went to a doctor out there, and it was like, you need to stay here, not get on no plane. We're going to give you something. And again, they gave me these drops, right? And it was like, that doctor should not have never let you leave. You need to have surgery to save your sight. And so I left from there, got on a plane anyway again.
Really? Even after you heard that?
I had to get home. And I was like, I'll be okay. It's like, I'm going to be okay. So I act like I would keep my eye closed and all this. And when I got home, finally, and I was by my brother, and next thing I know, it was like, I kept doing this, like, wait a minute, something. And it was like, I couldn't see nothing no more. Like, period. So I'm freaking out, and I did. And then I went to the doctor, and they told me, one, you wasn't supposed to fly neither time. Two, the doctor should not have, he should have rushed you exactly to the hospital like the people in Nashville did. And, so now we're going to have to take, and they did an operation, told me what I had, and there's a stent in my eye that takes the disease out to keep it from spreading to this eye.
That's what I was wondering, because most people who have, because my brother takes drops all the time for his glaucoma, because he has, my mom did too, but she don't have to do it no more. Hers,
it can subside and you keep the pressure down the eye, because people don't realize you have, like, your blood pressure, you have two sets of pressure. You got
in
the
your
pressure
eyes,
and then the pressure in your eye. And that's when people don't realize you get aneurysms of different things. The pressure in your eye could be telling you about to have a stroke or whatever you're about to have, because the pressure in your eye, you might think, oh man, my eye hurting. God, maybe it's the sun or whatever's hurting. No, the pressure in your eye is up. And so,
and
so
it
that's
can
what
spread.
and then, so what they did was they put a stent inside of it, inside of my eye. You kind of feel it if you touch right, here. And every year I have to get that taken out in exchange, because what it does, it catches the disease and draws it out and keeps it from spreading, so I won't lose the sight in this eye.
That's
what I'm saying? And so the crazy part about it is, when I sit down and I wish, like, and it's like,
how old were you when this happened?
He had to be still, he was
40,
an older man,
had to be like 40, 42, 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, when I sit down and just be like, and that's why I tell people I live life the way I live it, because one day I won't see this world. Because when I lose the sight in this one, it's over.
You may never lose it. They're stopping it, so it may never happen.
I mean, but, when you think about it, okay, for me, easiest accident. Like, I'm very careful if I'm around, like, even playing with my kids. Like, I used to play with my kids. I got to the point where I changed the way I play with my kids, like wrestling with them, where I'm a quick do this, put this away from it. So, you know what I'm saying?
A certain bump or anything could cause a reaction.
And then say I lose the sight in this one, I no longer see this world. So I live my life You know what I'm saying? I said in the song, I'm you know, I got a dead eye, but I can see fakers eye wide shut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Still, but for me, I live different. Where, and I tell people, enjoy this world, see everything you need to see.
That's real.
Because imagine somebody like me that this sight is gone, and by a simple mistake, this one be gone, and I no longer see this world. All I accomplished, and that's why I tell people, enjoy what you see.
Did you go through depression when that first happened?
Man, I thought, and at the time I was like, I was divorced, and I just felt like, now I'm gonna look like this freak. You know, I always wear shades and stuff like that, and I thought probably what woman gonna, you know, if I want to date again, who's gonna want me? You know what I'm saying? And then I felt like I knew people. I had to get part. Depression part came of people staring. And then kids are so unfiltered, you know, but I start learning how to reverse it. You know, kids will be staring and staring, and they're like, your eyes blue. And I'm like, yeah, you know how that happened? I didn't listen to my mama. You better listen to your mama. One kid was like, I promise. I'm like, okay,
but that's the same thing. Funny you said that. Twisted Black had the same thing to say that the kids, because he had got shot in his face, and he said the kids were basically was the ones that he would really mess with, because he say they the ones like you just said.
They gonna come up and ask, you know.
But he said they'll stare. But if sometimes if they stare, but if you ask, he'll tell you. Man up and tell you.
I had a little girl in the store. I used to always. Somehow me and this little girl were always in the store. Right when I was going through the part of trying to deal with, I didn't want people to see me.
It's like God was setting you up.
She preparing you.
She was strengthening me, right? Because she's like, "Did a guy with the funny eye break out running?" So one day I decided, because he used to hurt my feelings. Mom said, I'm so sorry. I said, it's all right, kids, okay. And I go sit in the car like, damn, this was going to be the rest of my life. You know, because I naturally have light brown eyes, right? And so, you know, you get back then, girls think, oh, you got pretty eyes or whatever, whatnot. So use that to my advantage. And so, and it's like, now I got this, I look like this freak. And I don't want people to see it. So she would always do it. So one day I just decided, she took off running, I went running behind her. And she's screaming through the store and this and that, whatever, with that. And,
beautiful.
And, you know, so I just started, but it was hard. I went through depression with it. I didn't want to be seen. And I wasn't, because they gave me a choice. We could put the stent in, and in time you're going to lose this coloration. Or we can take the whole eyeball out and put, you know, a glass eye. And I'm like, I don't want that. Wow. I don't want that. I want what God gave me. And that's it. And I had hopes still, like maybe one day.
Faith,
one day that they'll discover something. But I went through a lot with it, man. And then,
have you met anybody else who have?
I thought, honestly,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm gonna trip you out. After Katrina, in New Orleans, I started seeing, when I moved back to New Orleans, I see a lot of people. Their eye was like this, and I'm wondering, that might happen with Katrina, contamination, water, different things, because I start seeing a lot, and people I knew eye wasn't like that before, and I would see a lot of black men, they left eye, a lot of times left or right eye is like mine. So I'm like, is that something just with us, you know, as black men?
And you didn't ask?
I didn't bother to ask, and I started research on it because I really wanted to know, and I wanted to make that as a project of mine, of how so many black men end up, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you something too, why I love a black woman, like, you know, not just because my mother was a black woman, that's one of the main reasons, but a black woman they have no idea the healing that they are.
Wow.
Because I felt like, man, I'll never date again. I was hiding it, you know, and then when it happened, I was in shape, so I was doing all that, but it was like, don't want to date me with my eye like this. And I was fresh out of divorce. Wait. And it was like, black woman. And I was like, you know, I kind of kept putting my head down once, and she was like, I think that is so sexy. Oh, shit, that was it right there. See, like I'm doing it now on camera. I don't hide it, you know. But I still have, you know, but that just show you the difference, because it took one. Never met her again in my life. Never seen, you know what I'm saying? It was out here.
She don't even know she done it.
And they have no idea that, because when she said it, and then was still sitting there talking to me, we just had a nice conversation, and don't know when I left from there, I'm in the car and I'm smiling, and at the same time with tears down my face.
Come on now.
It was like, I got to a point where I didn't want you to see me, period. Like, I'm like, now this look, man, look, you know, one eye is brown and one eye is blue, and it's like, you know, I'm sitting down thinking, well, maybe I can go back into the movies and be the bad guy with the end up in a James Bond movie or something.
Right.
But for what else is gonna be there? And then my kids have to see that. You know what I'm saying? And that's, but it took for, honest to God, a black woman. And even like, you know, for me, with, you know, wifey now, right? And she was always like, you know, because at first I was kind of shades when you know, we met, and you know, and she took my glasses off, and I will never forget that. She took my glasses off. She said, that is sexy, either way, you know, and I'm like, stop playing, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And she would always say, why you always hide your glasses? What are you tripping? Why you keep hiding your eyes? And it was just a sense of, and that's what trip me out with black women. Like, y'all have no idea, some of them, the strength and what you can accomplish. You know, a black man can accomplish with you guys, not apart from you guys. You know, and for me, somebody that's willing to say, I'm done with music. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be out there. I'll just stay at home and run businesses from there, whatever, whatnot, because I don't want some people staring at me. And I can't always wear shades. It's dark in clubs at night. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people staring at me. And so it's like, because I could feel it. Now I'm better. You know what I'm saying? But I could feel it at times when I'm talking to people, and I could follow. My brother taught me, you know, FBI, he taught me how to follow people, movements in their eyes, what they looking at. Mm-hmm. You know, in case they're looking behind you and there's somebody behind you. You know, just, you know, because people just look straight forward at you, but they still looking past you.
Right.
And so I will find when I'm talking to people and they're like, yeah, Serv, and it's like, and I could see it. Like they're looking, and then I start feeling uncomfortable, and then finally, man, yeah, what happened to you? And then the fans start asking a lot. And if you Google Mr. Serv and watch one of the things come up, what happened to Mr. Serv on Eye? So that is there. So I have to look at that. But I've learned to grow up and just, if I wanted to forget it, I can't forget it.
Right.
You know,
but you're strengthening somebody else, because you're not the only person that has gone, because glaucoma is a thing where, and some people have cataract and lost vision in both eyes.
I keep thinking about Mr. Mike, because Mr. Mike I never asked him about it, but that's my boy. I talk to him all the time.
Because see, you look at it like that's like, I'm not going to ask.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. I wait till the timing is right. Like I just announced that, you know what I mean?
Men won't ask.
No, but I don't know.
Women ask, because like for me personally, I feel like there's somebody else. It's not, it might be for you, because the more you talk about something is the more you get comfortable with it rather than hiding it. But then also you help somebody else who out here who going through depression, who and they could have been going through this for years, and
it ain't so bad either though, because
I don't want them to go through what I went through, like you said, the depression.
But that lady we had, the blind goddess story, make yours. What you talk? Did you see that one? You didn't see the blind goddess? Yeah. Did you seen it? Didn't you?
Yeah, and it
made you feel like, nigga, hey, I'm not as bad as I thought.
And her faith
you watched
is
the whole
so
thing?
strong.
Did you watch both parts?
No, I didn't get to watch all.
Her faith is so strong, and she got her sight back to a point where she said, "It's like you looking through a straw."
I mean, and I'm gonna show you something crazy. The corner, right? I used to, and nobody really paid attention except my brother, because he knew. Because the little bit of vision that I had, the last little vision, was the corner.
The corner.
So a lot of times, like I used to do this, and you wouldn't even know if I was talking to y'all and I still had that vision, and I would kind of do this, like, and talk to people, you know, because I just wanted to see, because I just wanted to use what little piece was left, you know, and because people don't understand of standing there every day and watching your sight fade, because 1 minute is fuzzy, and then as the weeks change, you know what I'm saying, it's getting to the point where it's like extra light. Like it's so light, like you know, your sun is shining, and then sun and light start bothering me, giving me pains and whatever, whatnot. And then next thing you know, all the thing left was this corner that I could see. And then finally, it's like now it's like a white. And you know what I'm saying? I used to laugh, say I'm going to heaven in one eye. You know what I'm saying? It's white. It's white.
Man,
but I do, you know, because I saw kids, and you know, I saw a kid once, and he's like, my eyes like that, and mom told me after school, I said, look, go get me a phone. And I Googled me, and he was looking at my Wikipedia page, and I said, see, I said, Don't worry about it. Look what I've done and look what I've become.
Right.
And look at, so
Motivating.
don't worry about
See,
it. I said, you're going to be good, man. Don't.
That's hard.
Because he was like, they called me freak. I said, I felt the same way.
Because diabetes can cause that too.
Yeah, diabetes can
cause
it.
glaucoma too.
Diabetes is one of the main.
Right.
You know, a lot of
Because that's
people
how
use
my
this
dad had gotten his because of diabetes.
You know, and there's you know, because mine was neovascular glaucoma.
And that one was caused because you got hit in the eye?
No, it was mostly, I think, you know, because that thing being hit in the eye aggravated it. It had to be, you know what I'm saying? But I think it was more or less like, because it wasn't hereditary. I didn't have that in my family. You know what I'm saying? Maybe on my father's side, I probably didn't know. But, you know, but because it wasn't the fact of diabetes, I don't think. You know, neovascular glaucoma, I think, is different. I might be wrong. I'm sure some people gonna see this in the hood doctors that stayed at the Holiday Inn gonna say, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, but you know, and I just, but it was rough, man, because then you got to look at the fact when it happened to me, and we all get caught up in this. I'm like, man, I'm Mr. Serv from No Limit Records, and it's like. And look, and then but you know who helped a lot? And I pray one day the young man come home, Fetty Wap.
Oh,
because when it was happening to me, he was that hot artist.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
and his eyes.
I'm like, damn, he let people see him. Like,
right.
And I thought about it, you know what I'm saying? But then I stayed quiet, but it still helped a quiet confidence in, you know, that I needed. But it took, like I said, it took a black woman.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and I'm comfortable. Like,
that's
even
good.
with wife, y'all walk around without
your
glasses on and have conversations. Because at one time I wouldn't even conversate with people because they was asking me like, "You should get a patch?" I'm like, "I'm not no damn pirate. I ain't wearing no damn patch." But,
yeah.
You know, and but black women don't know their power. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea.
Mr. Serv, I want to ask you about. Well, you see the BMF story. You see, you be seeing 50 doing his thing, man. What do you think a story would be like? You know, to see the No Limit. You know, just the whole move, the way it started, played out by different actors, and do you think that could ever happen? Do you think that's something?
Let me tell you something. I feel, and I know P want to do it, and if it's told and wrote correctly. And I never compare, because BMF is awesome, man. It's great. Yeah, it has so much background and character.
It was one more too that did it too. Who else?
Yeah.
What other story was told?
Who else?
Frank Lucas.
So, yeah, Frank Lucas.
That was. But wasn't it No, it wasn't. It was Bumpy. No, it was
Harlem. Godfather Harlem.
That was a good one.
Because that was a good one. Because you had background of other things.
Yeah.
And let me explain something, man. No Limit. If it were, and this is my opinion, and I'm sure Big Bro will see this, if that story was told from two entities, from P, of course, and from KL side, right? Because them two, I know what both of them went through, and some things that I don't know that P, you know, in California went through, but I heard of it. And then the things in New Orleans and his, just, you know, if it was ever told from them two being just two kids in New Orleans and coming up to become this kid with that sound, this dude with this hustle, you know, and this brain for music like P was, and them two got together and changed everything. KL changed the sound, P changed the way business was done and how artistry and labels should be run, right? If I had my choice and if it was done where P's story and it's a series in KL's, because then we all fall into that. Everybody falling on P's side. You have, you know, Corey Miller, free Corey Miller. You know, you have Silk. You know, you have even the King Georges and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and then the stuff they went through even before we got to California, and the things P was going through, the things P went through before he got to California. You know, and at the same time, KL was going through things because P lost a lot of people, especially his brother.
Yeah,
you know,
Kevin Miller.
Kevin, man. God, Jesus, Kev. and you know, and then P lost friends, a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? And whether it was to death or to jail. KL on the other end had a lot of debt and a lot of things on our journey. You know what I'm saying? And then you able to tell that story of these two coming together and doing what they did, even though it was more of a P thing, because that was, you know, P had the deal. He went through everything. But on this side, you had KL, who was fighting in a city to have his own sound. And you put them two, you bring them two, and everything that's on both sides of them. You got to look on, you have P side, and then you have KL side, because then you got Mia stories in there that would be on KL side of it.
I want to bring one part into that, and I want to talk briefly about the fact of how was KL, and I asked him a little bit about it, but you can tell from outside looking in, when KL lost Soulja Slim, because he had been with him so long and knew him from such early age, you know, and knew when he came into the music, you know what I mean? How did that affect him just because of their relationship?
When he called me, KL is like rock solid, like concrete. He does not show emotions. If KL gets mad and raises his voice, you know how you look and say, man, I'm wrong, man. You realize you're wrong. Because I always say, and it's not being funny, and people so woke out there when I say this, I always say it jokingly, like, man, that dude is cousins with God. He don't do nobody wrong. He will not do you wrong, man. Like nothing. You know what I'm saying? He don't indulge, and he don't smoke weed, he don't drink. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he cursed when he talking about the Cowboys. That's about it, because he be excited about them. But and then, you know, but to see him, he called me, and I could hear it in his voice. He said, man, they just killed Slim. And I'm sitting there like, just what? And he was like, I'm over here now, man. He just laying there. And I'm like, man, and I don't really know what to say, because, and then my mind clicks to, okay, when I first met K, Slim, he was shot up and stuff, and he came back, like, and I'm like, and I said, K, I said, it's gonna be right. He said, nah, not this time. And he got off the phone. And I never saw he changed. K was the type to have a gun in his house for his family. I was able to see him then. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had them. Like, I knew they was there, but you never saw them. Not that he was carrying them, but you saw them. You know, and he shut down for a long time. Like, he wasn't doing music too much. He was, and you saw that it affected him, because he's the type of dude that can be hurt. Something like that can hurt him. You're not gonna see him cry. He's not gonna look like the world ended. But he had this blank look on his face for a long time, because I think, and I'm not being disrespectful to, you know, because he got Slim, not his family members, beautiful. Miss Linda, his sister, son, cousins, they some beautiful, good people. But I'm talking about the fans are the ones that, I rode with him, and I was gangster with him and all that. You got to watch what you say, because then they get upset, and then you might have to choke a few or handle a few. I'm going to leave that alone. But K looked at it like that was his, like father, son, or uncle, nephew. Yeah. Like favorite nephew and big unc. You know what I'm saying? And they were like that. You know, if you ever saw them two together. See, a lot of people would talk about when they was with him. I watched them two together. I watched K come in there, and nobody interrupts his sessions. But he come in there and he turn around, sir, we gonna finish up. What's happening? And then he was and I won't do this, that, and that. And he was like, all right, shit, I got something for you. And I watched K face light up when he would come in there. Yeah. And then they get in there, and it was like, that's why I always looked at P and K, right? And I always do comparisons. You know, P and K, Snoop and Dre. You feel what I'm saying? You know, and it's like, you know, Swiss and DMX. Yeah. You know, those guys that had that chemistry. K and Slim. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. K and Slim was like Pac and Daz. Because see, a lot of people don't know Dad's, you know,
He used to get down.
Yeah, for
Pop.
So they were like that. You could see the pride in KL when he doing what he doing. And then KL was the type to tell him while he recorded, nah, run that back again. Or you see the humor with them two in the basement when I first was coming around. And you would see where KL be like, man, what the fuck you just said? And Slim like, say, Ron, just press the button, funky fingers. And he'd tell him, yeah, bitch, he got to explain everything to you. That's what, you know, how Slim was. And the pride. And then he would leave. And I'm there at 1 o'clock. And now I got to go back to work after that. Because now his mind is on that. And I watch when he walk out the door, and I remember K sometimes be like, I'll get that boy out the streets.
Wow.
He cared about him in that way. So he is a very serious subject to him. Like if anybody try to, you know, he see the videos when people might say this or say that, you know, he don't like it. It's almost like you're playing my son, you're playing my child, you're playing my nephew, you know. And so, but during that period of time, I watched my friend who never showed emotions.
Yeah.
I saw a crack in the armor.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I saw him just sitting there, not thinking about a beat when all that happened. And he just look up and he was just like this. This is like exactly. Always had his hands and you know, or you standing there like this because it'd be cold in there. And I'm like, yeah, at the booth doing this same thing. And he would just stop and they killed Slim.
Wow.
Out the kill, and I'm like, you know, you don't know what to say.
No.
You don't, right? And he just, and even in his beats, start being angry, start being aggressive, you know, so it meant a lot to him. Slim wasn't his, we gonna make it to the top thing. Slim was like, he get me, he get my music, he rock with my music. He that one that's everything in New Orleans and he rocking with me.
That's hard.
That was like, they were like that. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter how Slim would act, you know, gangster, it didn't bother KL. You know what I'm saying? KL would let him be him, and they was who they were. You know what I'm saying? And he was KL was his go-to producer. That was his guy. Like Slim felt like, this my guy, this my DJ. You know, because KL's a DJ too, so that was his guy. You know, they were who they were together. And I watched him. I watched a crack in the armor. Like,
I want to ask you, I asked you about the No Limit story being told. What do you think a Soulja Slim story would be like to New Orleans? How would that affect?
I don't think it should be a movie. I think it should be a series.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, a series.
Because
there was so many elements of it.
Yeah, I mean, he's so many elements. You got to think about, he's touched so many. Just the story of, and I love this lady so much, man. Just the puzzle with him and his mama, man. Just who they were. You feel what I'm saying? You know, a boy and his mama, but you know who they were. You feel what I'm saying? And I think that would be so interesting. And then you got to think, he touched everywhere, meaning you dealt with KL, and that was a label situation itself, you know, little stuff that KL had. Dealt with P, dealt with Baby. You know what I'm saying? He was that one in the NFL, how you got that free agent that everybody want. And these days of NIL, that player that everybody want. Like, for instance, people get mad at me because I'm a Brown fan. Like, Brown go into free agency. You can't, but now every team is looking like, hope you come here. Yeah. So Slim was that individual, and so his story would be, you know, especially his interaction with his mother. You know what I'm saying? The beauty of a black woman and a son that she know at the heart of a lion. And then who she was, the strength. And even now, I have something, man, and me and a friend of mine was talking, and I said, you know what hits me hard and I want black people to get? Imagine whenever I see Biggie Mama, right? You know what? I get sad when I see her on the video. You know why? Why? I look at this woman and say, they took her only child, man. Wow. Music took her only child. And you look at her and you see a woman, a mother, her only child is gone over music. Wow. You feel what I'm saying? So you look at that. And then when I used to see Pac Mama, I used to be like, man, look at this spirit. Look at this woman. You know, this woman was in jail carrying him. She gave him to this world, gave him to us. You know what I'm saying? To music, to the streets, everything. They killed him.
Wow.
They took her soldier away from her, right? You look at the mother's of aspect, and then you look at Slim Mama, who you get to see a lot. And you look at her, beautiful woman, still beautiful chocolate woman, beautiful. Sweet person. I used to, you know what I wonder when I see Miss Linda? Why she's still smiling? Cause she get reminded everywhere she go of her son. So even if you reminding her and saying, I love Slim, this, that, and that, and that, you know where her mind go? My baby gone though. He gone. Y'all loved him, but he gone. Right? And you look at her, I find myself, I've seen her someplace, came and spoke to her, and then I'm sitting across the room and I look at her and be like, she didn't just lose a child, she lost an icon. Wow. That will always be remembered. Think about her, Biggie Mama, and, you know, and a few others who've lost their mama. I mean, lost their son that was big in rap, Nip Mama. Imagine when people see them, they don't see that Slim Mama. They see, man, Slim dead, he gone.
Yeah.
And they look at this lady, and if you ever see her, she's strong. She carries herself. She exhibits everything about a black woman and a black mother. But you know, and if you like, we friends on Facebook, and you could catch some posts she might put up where she letting you know, like I still hurt. Don't be twisted if you see me out here. I'm just not gonna show it because I'm a black woman. I gotta keep it together. I still got his little sister, who is a grown woman, and she's outspoken, you know, and she's a hell of an artist, but she's a grown woman. So, but she still have to maintain, you know, and you still got Lil Slim, you got her grandkids, but when you see her, you sit back and you know she don't get a moment's peace wherever she go. That's Slim Mama, that's Slim Mama, that's Slim Mama. So you getting reminded of your child, and imagine she walked out there and saw him laying there. So when you get a reminder of your child, what you think picture's gonna go through her mind? She don't get a moment's rest. You know what I'm saying? And I think his story will be so strong and so great because it won't be just about this rapper that everybody thought was 24/7 gangster and all this. You gotta see the story of a mother that gave the world a soldier. You feel what I'm saying? And she's still here.
Wow.
And she's living through the aftermath.
I want to BG home. Shout out BG. He had some difficulties where they was trying to jam him up about being around other people who they felt he shouldn't, and they you know, give him some problem by doing, you know, rapping and stuff. Like, how big is it to see him come home after over 12 years and just the way he's looking? Yeah. What do you see in his music that he's putting out?
See, what I don't like, a lot of people like even some people like, oh man, that music done change. And then some people like, oh man, I want that old BG back, this, that, and that. And then some saying he giving it. But what's most important, he home. You know what I'm saying? He's home. And, you know, his aunt, Carol Dorsey, who used to do some type of management and stuff with her, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I'm real close with her, grew up with her. And so, you know, the thing about it, so we, you know, she was telling me the things and when he might be coming and this and that. But I'm so happy to see him home because I wish he would have came home sooner.
Me too.
Because his son T.Y., like he's serving time. I think T.Y. wouldn't even be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would have definitely looked.
Because his son was holding it down for him. You know. And so with BG, man, I truly think, you know, in my heart, like they don't want guys like BG to maintain and stand straight up, right? Because he's one of them guys that have so many that guy will follow and walk. And we at a time right now, you know, and then he's himself, but he's done all these years. So mine has changed. People want him to be out here just with all gangster stuff, just gangster all day, gangster this, that way, that way. This man did time. He did a lot of it. And he not only did time, but he was somebody that was here when he went to jail and got brought to the lowest form. So y'all need to give him time to maybe be what y'all really want back, because he was taken from here and put to even below. You know that jail system, it put you below the ground, even though your body is sitting above it. You know, and then when you come out, you know, people say, well, he got a fair, and people want to do this money, that. People talk about how people should come out of jail that ain't never did a day of time in their life. They don't know your mentality. They don't know everything is different to you. They don't know, you know, the fears you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you not understanding, like, what do he want? What are he talking about? Why, you know, who is this? Who this is? Who this is with you? You know what I'm saying? Because of what you went through in that place. You understand and you know. So when you touch down and now people expected him to go back to BG, and we going to keep it 100, go back to BG that was under the influence of some things that you know what I'm saying? So back then he might have been he might be leaning this way. Y'all thought that was so gangster. No, he was under the influence of something messed up, right? And through and all with everything else. But now he's standing 10 toes down, clean, sober. You know what I'm saying? Strong, understand business now. So how people want you to go back, and this how backwards we are as people. They want him to just be out here, just all gangster all day and this and that, and every conversation is wine, this and that and that. Like, that's my jizzle. That's it. No, that man grown. He got kids that are grown. He got one. This man living with the fact one of his sons, who was just like him musically, the kid doing time, and was a hell of an artist. T.Y. is a hell of an artist. Hella down for his father. Come home to him and family members. You know what I'm saying? Sad to say, the arguments that was going on. Then people he did music with, all of this stuff, man. You know, and then you got people doing videos saying things about him and this, that, and
yeah,
then they hit him with the thing that I don't like, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Every black man. Why do other black men nowadays look at black men, and if you're wearing the wrong glasses, if you turn around and smile the wrong way, you gay?
That's the way they do
it. And it was hitting this man with that, bro. And I'm like, the people that was doing it, like, wait a minute, didn't you say how gangster he was and this, that, and that? And then he come on to social media age, where now they playing with you because the man just got out of jail.
I think they put a red, the sexy red girl.
Yeah,
they put her face on his face. And that social media ain't playing no games. The internet crazy.
Let me tell you, social media right now is the #1 problem within the black community. People won't admit it. They try to say rap music and all this other stuff. No, social media is #1. That's the problem. I hate to say it because we make money from, make a living. But at the same time, it's a beast, you know. But that's what bothered me. I'm happy he home, right? I don't like the fact that he didn't get the respect and the fanfare that he should have gotten. You feel what I'm saying? In fact, he just got a lot of, to me, just like hate towards him. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody looking for him to be a certain way, like to act a certain way, and he went in to stand up quiet, dude. Why you thought he was gonna come out and be this? I'm gonna run my mouth and talk this and talk crazy, and when BG, you know, BG's talk, he leaning. He was going through some things back then. His mind is focused and is straight.
I want to ask you about this incident that happened on my show. You jumped in the comments. Shout out to Rainwater, who didn't show up. I called Rainwater today and he didn't show up. I called him, he said he was going to come, he didn't come. We probably had something else going. He said he had to go to church.
You know what? See, I can't be mad with him. I'm about to mess with him. I'm about to let you know, Rain. Now, don't be scared. You got Rain, then he got 214 by it. Don't be scared when that 504 come to holler at you.
Oh, man. But
nah,
anyway, let me just say this, man. You basically jumped in the comments because we was cutting up in here, and some kind of way the conversation came to, because he'll say a lot of times, you don't bring this person, why you don't go get this person? And I was like, he said, no, you'll go all the way and get California and get Silk the Shocker. And you jumped in the comments and say, watch out now, you gave him some stern. I'm gonna let you tell the story because I want to hear why you done it. And I know why you done it, but just explain to the people, you know, what happened with that.
Number one, you know, people, the strength of social media can put down and they will say just disparaging things towards Silk, and we've always been very protective of him. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You gonna see me if you play with his name. We could talk like men, or we could do what we do. You know what I'm saying? The real man way, get in the middle of the street. I like doing that. So, you know.
Yeah, some stories on the internet about you.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't like talking about that stuff, man. But you know, and the thing about it is, you know, and I'm like, you can get the point across. Don't do it like that. And then for him, and I like this little dude. I feel
Me
like,
too.
and I'm gonna say it, and I want you to make sure he said, I'm gonna look in the mic. I'm not gonna even look at y'all. He should be achieving even more. I expect him to be one of the big execs to come out the South one day. That guy, he has that. He has the gift of gab to talk. You know, I've learned some. I do my before I go to war. I do my research. You feel what I'm saying? And who he is as a manager. And I look at some of the artists that just, we're gonna take away Mo, because Mo was a special guy. Jesus, that kid was, man, he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? But even other artists and things I've learned about the kid, young man, instead of you being up here that way, that's how I felt. Like, no, you got a little more to prove. God gifted you this very, very awesome, and you did your job with Mo, right? But before you could stand on that, this is the way I felt. Pay your dues. You know what I'm saying? Go make more till you go get you artists that did what Silk did before you make those comments and those questions. You know what I mean? No, excuse me, those things you say. But you're entitled to your opinion. Because I know a lot of people go, well, yeah, this, that, and that. Yeah, whatever.
It's so many ways you can argue that, though, because when you look at even Mo 3, the thing he was trying to accomplish, what Silk the Shocker have accomplished. Silk the Shocker is a multi-platinum. This dude,
movies, everything.
He really done did some stuff,
and then it's like, why take you from the and this the thing with the young dudes in the South, and it was more, I'm gonna say, hurtful coming from Rain, because you right here in the middle. You know, Lil J is down there. P and Baby is over here. It's your lane. Because usually it's rappers, right? Everything is all rappers, right, from the South. But you haven't heard too many managers, A&R type. You that one. Nobody's trying to follow that. Name how many young dudes his age trying to do management or whatever else. He an A&R. So you that guy, who's to say you know become the next Lil J, the next, you know what I'm saying, the P or the next Baby? You feel what I'm saying? Or in his age group, the next Gotti, who I love, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you from the South, you're supposed to protect yours, whether you feel that way or not. We could talk behind closed doors if you feel that way, you know, about
Seven the Great just said the same thing about something that he said about him, that, you know, it kind of like he didn't want him to be said, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. But also, I think education becomes a thing on it as well. I don't think he, like I said, when it comes to Silk, you got to go find out about the things that he's accomplished, because a lot of times you don't know.
He just followed. I'm gonna tell you, I think he followed with a lot of people. You know, you had the one or two people who say that on the internet, and these dudes that think they know music and they try to put my bro on this certain list that I won't even say, because I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is, when you look at how many rap like him, rap that style.
Oh, a bunch of them.
And they big time, and they, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna leave that fact right there, right? But for him, it was like, I was more disappointed because from the South, dog. We don't do that to ours. If they do it, fine. But we don't do that to ours. That was number one. And then I felt like it was more or less like you were talking this big talk. My thing was, okay, you did it once and you was on your way with a hell of an artist. And I'm not gonna take from your work, because I found out you used to bust shit. That boy,
everybody know Rain brought it down.
I did my research. Rain did his thing, dog. It wasn't just the great music of a great artist. That boy did his thing as A&R, as management, did his thing, right? Okay, you talk, now go do it again. Get that resume up. You know what I'm saying? Then we can have these conversations or whatever. Then you're gonna learn in time, when you get it up, you're gonna know this thing of ours, especially in the South. You keep that in behind closed doors if you feel a certain way, but the world don't know we don't do that. And that's what I looked at, even though he have his own opinion.
Man, Rain gonna get that opinion, man.
Yeah.
That's one thing you get. Hey, listen, Mr. Serv on Rain is gonna give that opinion. He gonna tell, and you got to be able to set under his gun and tell him, hey, education is the process, nigga. No, I ain't going for that. That's me.
And let me tell you, and that's what I learned about him. And look, I've learned to love it, though. That's the point. So I love him for it, but and then it made me angry because I'm like, and I don't mean to say kid because he's young, you know, it's just an older guy thing.
Yeah.
This young man, he can be one of them in this executive way of doing things.
A lot of people say that.
He got it, but he gotta stay away from Rain, bro. Stay away from all this, man. Just, you know, but pass your opinion, but and you know what's gonna come behind it. But I just feel like what I saw in him, it was more like almost a disappointment. Like, come on, bro, you could be one of them, dog. And I believe that with everything in me. You know what I'm saying? Especially once I did my research and found more history about him, right? And I'm like, man, he out here playing games, man, with all this. He reining the wrong thing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like this dude is that. I feel like he could be that one, not just Dallas area, just getting all this all through Texas or whatever and build something so great. You know what I'm saying? That's unstoppable. Build it all again that was built before him. And he has it. Because he will stand by his orders. He will.
He ain't put it to go against it.
In the fire. The fire gonna burn him, and then it's gonna come back and burn his ashes. He gonna come back again. He gonna stay, and that's what I like about him. But at that moment, I had to really be honest with him. Like, come on, don't do that. And he's so real. Like, what I love about him, he said, and I was like, damn. And I would say something nice to him, and he said, and I knew your lyrics too, man. And like he was disappointed in me. And I'm like, didn't look what he hit me with. I said, that was some smart chess playing. I said, damn, man. And he listened to my stuff too, man. Damn. But I had to keep it 100. You know, and then it's a good lesson too for people out there. He said something that I didn't truly appreciate about my label mate. I'm supposed to, like I told him on there, I'm supposed to stand up for him, right? And he responded, but it was never no disrespect.
No.
You feel what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, when I come out here, you was like, I'm gonna get him.
I'm trying to get him out. We still gonna do it.
Because I wanted him sitting next to me so we could go at this old school and new school thing.
He'd have loved to do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you,
I want him.
He probably busy. I'm telling you, I thought he was gonna show up.
He went to church because he was scared. He went to church. He know. Not to all y'all out there, not scared in no physical way.
No, the conversation,
he from the South, because I smashed somebody for him.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's right.
That's a little bro, but what I'm saying is he know, because I wanted to. You know what I want? I was gonna, if you wasn't gonna ask the question, I was gonna get into this old school, new school, because somebody needs time. We do it.
Talk about
it. Because he always talking about the old school needs to go sit down.
I seen that crowd last night. Let me say this.
He always said the old school needs to sit down.
They need to get out the way.
Get out the way. Get new rappers.
You didn't see what I seen last night. See, when you see what I seen last night.
I wanted him.
You seen it?
Yeah, I seen it.
How many people's in there?
And look, I looked at it like it was gonna happen on your show. That finally,
I sure wish I'd got his butt over here.
In a young was gonna have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I always tell Ali from the St. Lunatics, you know, because I be messing with him on his page with Jordan and LeBron, right? So I'm like, me and him I'm gonna force this issue where we could get into it, but I know my bro is gonna ask that question, so he might not. Especially Mr. Jamaica, I know you probably, because I wanted that conversation that the world needed to see between the older generation and the younger.
Right, exactly.
Because I'm telling you, I was in my phone. I had notes. I said, I'm gonna get him because I know he gonna bring up. Because I remember when he talked about Gotti.
Yeah.
And Yo Gotti, that's my guy, man. I love who he is.
Yeah, but I talked about Jay Nim. It was an old school
and Baby, and
I talked about Baby.
Yeah, and it was like,
I think.
I wanted him.
I just think that a lot of times you gotta have that conversation, because some of the things he's saying, a lot of people are thinking and not saying. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
And then I think it was better me and him do have it, because I'm never wanted him to get upset and next thing you know we in there fighting.
No.
Like some people, it'd be more like I want the debate.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you because, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to give him examples of what he do and who he is to older generation guy that did it before him.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like what you're doing, You know what I mean? And at the same time, you would not exist, nor the great would not exist if there wasn't a Pac. If you feel like he was better, than Pac.
That's kind of what I told him.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. That's why I love when you did it. But I definitely wanted to have that conversation.
We gonna catch me to come over too much.
Because you need two people that's not gonna bring into no argument.
No, you need to, and the conversation need to be had because somebody else can learn from that conversation.
And learn, because a lot of, that's like, I always remember when Future redid Freakos, right? And the youngsters was thinking that was Future's song. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there laughing like, no, that's P song.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, and the youngsters so funny acting, because they talk about us, get out the way, y'all funny, man, y'all funny acting. That song was hot. So when they looked like they found out that was P song, that's where it was creative, it almost like they backed away from that song, they got mad. No, it wasn't y'all, man, goddamn, everything that's done has come before y'all. It just might have been a different form. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even guys with podcasts and stuff like that and things like that, if you go back to even before Breakfast Club, you go back to Yo MTV Raps, those segments, you know what I'm saying, or whatever would not. I mean, it was always something beforehand.
I got to ask this question. This is my last question, right?
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up.
And
they're putting me out, yo. That's how they do you in Texas. They feed you and then put you out.
So, okay, because you've been doing the music for a while. Mm-hmm. And so have you ever met P. Diddy in person?
Oh.
P. Diddy.
Ooh, taking it there.
I saw him, we was in the same room before. You know, like, not room. Hold up. Yeah, we were in the same, like vicinity, you know what I'm saying, of an event. And I mean, I always, you know what I'm saying, it would be somebody I would love to sit down and pick their brain at one time. Okay. You know, and go ahead. I know it's the second part to this question. Go ahead.
So you never attended any of those parties?
Oh no. Let me tell you something. One thing I loved about P, man, if you wanted to, when rap started getting big for us, he knew how to keep us focused. Because I can remember watching the video exactly with the White Tiger and all that stuff, and I think it was Nas, or was it, Puffy, one of them, whatever, and we was watching that, and he was quick to break down some numbers like, that's $1 million video or whatever, whatnot. Well, okay, with 100,000, I'm gonna shoot 10 videos, and 10 gonna always be one, and it just made you like, oh, forget that $1 million. He knew how to keep you to a point where you're not gonna let everything go to your head, and then you want to explore into that. And then, I remember learning about Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Being out with one of my guys that was, pretty cool, played for the LA Lakers. And we was like going out, and that's when the Central City Club was popping. And it was like a party in Beverly Hills or whatever. In your mind, you're like, man, okay, man, I'm gonna see stars, we gonna go. Like, we ain't going to that. Because come midnight, you know what I'm saying, a lot of things change. I'm like, right. Okay, cool, we ain't doing that. And we just kicked it in. And, so for me, yeah, you heard about puffy parties and stuff like that, but I think we was always on a different end of the
right. Because it seemed like everybody in the industry would always go to a lot of these parties just to network and, stuff like that.
It wasn't just networking. It was, he made it to the point, I think, where it was the place to be seen and,
right.
and get close to whomever you want to get close to. And then everybody had the other person. Some people had some things going on with them where it was anything goes, I guess, but I think it goes, and I hate to say it, and I think it goes to being from down south. Mm-hmm. Like, we not really with all that wildness. And then I'm going to keep it 100, and I'm not aiming it at him, but the sexual aspect of it, we might talk about stuff on songs, but we private sexually, you know what I'm saying, down south or whatever, whatnot, and all that wildness and craziness and stuff like that. I mean, that's just not the life you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And we won't publicize in so many ways or whatever, the things they claim and saying that was going on, because I'm not getting involved in that part.
Allegedly,
the alleged word. Yeah. But I never, it was never once like you saying like, man, I want to go to a puffy party, because I'm sorry, no disrespect, I guess, and not saying about on gangster stuff, man, because I don't really look at myself saying gangster. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at all that stuff, you know. But just the mindset that was taught to us, like, I'm not tripping about going run, you know, running and be around all of that, because I always felt that was moments of ass kissing. You know what I'm saying? To be around this one and rub elbows and catch a picture with this one, that was never like that. I'm never raised that way. And then, you know, P didn't have us like that. You know, wanting to be running, go, let me go take a picture. Let me go stand over here. Let me go with this one, that one. No, we was always, we gonna earn our way. And then sooner or later, they'll see us and they'll be wanting to take the picture with us.
How much older is P than y'all?
Actually, I'm a year older than P.
You're a year older.
I'm months older than him. He just made 50. Oh shit, yo, 55, and I made 20. I make 25 in September now.
No, because it's so crazy to me. Because the way how I hear how you talk about him, and it's like it makes me feel like, oh, he's the older, the bigger brother, because how y'all listen to him and how well versed in certain things he is. You know what I mean? How smart he is. You didn't see
the Army gear. You ought to understand it's a structure. All they doing is structure.
I love it. I love the way
am I right?
But like, that's part of it too.
Like where he got this knowledge. Because all y'all around the same age. So I'm like, where did he get the knowledge and know how to steer y'all away from certain things? Because he was a kid himself at the time.
But at the time, you got to look at, you know, what he had went through. And then he understood the military structure. You know what I'm saying? And we understood it. You know, and then also, and I'm always say this, it goes with being down south. You know what I'm saying? Because you respect your grandfather, you respect your older uncles, you respect your older cousins. You know what I'm saying? And you was enamored by that one that went through things. So now when you have, you know, him and the way he was doing things, you know, you stalled like me. I stalled for that knowledge and not his position, never. You know what I'm saying? But to always to think like him. So when I get in businesses, I want to think that way and understand why he do what he do. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then, you know, during those periods of time, he led like a leader should lead. You know what I'm saying? Where and I can remember once on Dillard University campus, you know what I'm saying? And a female thing, and guy was mad or whatever, or not. And he heard I was going to get into it with him. And so my thing was like, man, I don't want to get in no trouble. You know, P going to be mad at me. Just, I ain't going to come on this campus no more. I get a phone call. Man, your boy just came through here. And man, he was about to deal with somebody. And so when I see him, he like, look, I don't want you on the campus no more. If you're on this girl date or whatever or not, you date outside there. Leave that alone. You feel what I'm saying? And I went to ask him, like, so you went, what happened when you went on there? He was like, as he used to do when he's not going to ask you to suck his teeth. Don't trip on it. And found out he went on there, found an individual that I was going to get into it with, and by then playing basketball, he decided he's going to play ball, and he's going to start being rough to make him mad, so he can get mad and step up. And to let it be known, like, this Tank, don't touch that, don't play with that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And to let you know he had your back. But he did it in a way was more calculating than me getting mad. Than
what you would have done.
You feel what I'm saying? And made it to the point like, okay, I made him mad and he coming at me, so now I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to deal with you. And that's who he was. And when you watch that and learn that and say, he got my back, I'll follow.
That's respect.
I'm going to follow him. I'm going to follow him into.
I love that story.
I'm going to follow him, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to follow him into the fire. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and he understood leadership, you know, even when it came to your family. You know what I'm saying? Man, look, go home. You know what I'm saying? You having issues at your house, go home, take care of that. Stop acting like that. You like, man, whatever. And you know, you might have females around because we was growing up, and he was like, man, you're playing with yourself. And then you will watch him go home to his family. Forget all the rest of that. You feel what I'm saying? And so he led by example. And so you had nothing but to do but to learn you start respecting him, and you said, you know what? I'm gonna follow. You know what I'm saying? and then the military structure of it all. You know what I mean? Because outside of being with a label, he cared. Like literally, like you could he could have been the type like, okay, man, what's wrong with you, man? Me and my girlfriend getting into it. Man, look, man, don't worry about them hoes. You know what I'm saying? You know how the game goes. These my dudes and the street dudes would normally be. All these around here, man, and we rolling right now. Worry about that. He would look at Serv, stop playing. Man, go, you know, go home, man, go take it, eat, go do something. You know what I'm saying? And make that right, because that at home right now will be always greater and more truer. And he used to always say that, then what we gonna meet out there. Not saying you can't, but he was like, that's realness when you ain't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? To when you compare it to when you get something. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be there for Serv on that one. That one at home is there for Corey. So, you know, and he was that type of person.
Let me ask you. I gotta ask you about C Murder before we get you off of here. You hear things on the internet. People turn stories and twist stories and say P said this, and it's almost to a negative aspect on, you know, on his own brother when you clearly see that it's just a plot. Like, what do you? How do you deal with? I know you speak up about stuff. You know what I mean? I've seen you speak up vocally, but to pretty much defend and really deflect, because it's a bunch of BS a lot of times. But one, how's he doing? Where are we at with this whole thing from your perspective when it come down to him and you know his pursuit of being free? Like and how do you deal with the internet? You know, rigor mortis, the hoorah.
I'll say this,
or the hoopla.
He love his brother, man. If you know their relationship, they are the funniest. Them two can get into it at 4 o'clock on a Wednesday. And if you think like, oh, okay, they done got into it or whatever, well, not, I got P now, or I got C now. Them two ain't together. Wrong. You feel what I'm saying? They used to have a 2-week rule. Him and P would get into argument. It might get physical, but it mostly be grabbing and all that if it did, right? Because I've been in the middle of that trying to stop them two and end up on the ground on the hot side of a highway. It's a lot. So in Oakland, but they gonna argue. C is gonna leave. They used to here go to 2 weeks. C would leave for 2 weeks. You don't see him for 2 weeks, and it could be somebody said one thing about P. They could breed wrong. He back, and when he back and he by his brother, you don't want that. He love his brother and they love each other. They two just who they are. They two strong alpha males and but they love each other and he love his brother, man. And I think a lot of things that go on, man, is social media, you know, and even the fact of, you know, as far as CC, I admire him so much, man, for him to still be head up, strong. You know what I'm saying? Through what he going through. Because see, one thing about C, people think about all the gangster stuff. That dude is a good father, man. He love his girls, man. Oh my God, man. I can't say enough, bro. You know what I'm saying? I told you, but I think I told you before, if a baby wanted a duck, he went got a duck. And he probably walked that duck down the street on the leash and dare you to say something. He love his babies and he missed them. C missed them more than he missed all of this life of what we have. You know what I'm saying? By far, 100 times over. You might say as he should, but more. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard when you know he's an innocent man. And it's not because like some people, all these people going, fans and all the people, shut up, man. All y'all out there, shut up. Y'all don't want, y'all, you know, if you know his character, know who he is, and then know some of the things we know, he didn't do that. You know, but also at the same time, you know, if it's knowledge of might have or whatever would not, he's not going to get involved in that. And I'm not saying that's the reason, you know, and he's keeping his spirits up because, you know, being there unjustly the way our crooked system in Louisiana, especially this new governor Jim Crow Landry, that's what I call him. You know, he's a different breed, and he wants to keep as many of them back there as possible. You don't want them to come home. And I understand, you know, where C is at, you know, his mind frame. Yes, he's had his rough moments. Yes, he's had his moments that I don't think he lost faith, because he's not built that way. But he have his rough moments, and that he goes through or whatever would not, you know, and then he has to get himself back up, you know, in a place where there's no up in it, you know, and that's what people don't really understand. And a lot of people talk, even some of them that been there, and they come home and they hear this and hear that. And what I've learned too with us as a black culture and a black community, we become cowards for the dollar. We become straight cowards, weak to the fullest. Because to me, I'm a thinking man. See, when I see these dudes that make up things about C and say things about C, you know what I'm saying? I look at it like this. Y'all are weak, and I will run circles around you. I'll make you do whatever I want you to do, because y'all are weak. Because any man that sits there and decide, because I want some views and get these streams and get this check, and if you call yourself a man, or you call yourself a gangster, or you call yourself a thug, and all this other shit that a lot of them be saying, you know the rules. Real men don't do that. You don't do that. You don't sit around and say, because I want a few dollars and I want to be popular, I want the lights on me. What, you, a female dancer? You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's what I'm going to start calling them, that sit around and make up lies about other men, and especially about somebody that I care about, and say that you're a female dancer, you want the lights on you then, right? You want some tips? Because that's what they're going to come from with them streams. You don't do that. And a man fighting for his freedom right now, you don't add some other things. You don't do that, man. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, what, you scared if he come home? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what it is, maybe the girl you like, she'll see Murder Fan with you. You scared? And I think some of them could be like that. And so, you know, and I don't get that, and it angers me, because I know for a fact, I wouldn't say none of that if you were standing in front of you. And see, and we're going to take away, and I always say this with people, let's take away all the guns, let's take away the knives, let's take away anything that you can hurt and take somebody's life, and you got to stand man to man, warrior to warrior, right? A lot of these dudes that talk all that talk, they ain't going to do that, because they're not built like that. And they would not, and why would you do that? Because if you was doing time, would you want, when you know public can sway you, know that they're councilmen or senators or whatever, state representatives that got to vote on certain bills that can bring you home? Why would you say some of these things to not bring this man home? For what reason? You know what I'm saying? If you a person that did time, and a lot of them that I've seen say stuff, they know he didn't do that. You feel what I'm saying? So you know how it is in that place, and have done it for years. Why would you do or say anything that can help derail that man's case? For what? What? You're a dancer. You want the lights. You want the lights and a few dollars for it. So, you know, so why do that? Why do that to another player? Even if I didn't even like you, bro, and we had some issues, for whatever crazy reason, yeah, we got some issues. And I know you're married to this woman. Y'all got kids, right? And it's like, you know what? He got his case. I'm not gonna say nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? I might even get to the point to be like I am, the way I think. I'm gonna put some things out there to help him get home. So guess what? He never liked me, but he gotta look and say, damn, Serv, help me. And I could smile at you. That's my get back. Wow. But I'm never gonna say nothing to keep you from coming home to your family. Wow. You know, and that's what I don't get with us as black people. I don't get that. We will rather fight harder to embarrass or shut down any motivation that one of us have than we are to the people that don't even want us to exist in this world. Wow. That's so true, man. You really look at what we got out here. And we got people, this is the crazy part, we got a lot of brothers that's doing their thing on platforms or whatever. Man, you got millions listening to you. Yeah. Millions. And what you scared to one time speak right, speak the right message, because then, okay, everybody gonna leave me, and I'm no longer popular. I'm no longer that dancer in the light. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, none of y'all don't even realize, like, say, bro, and Jay-Z said it best, you still a nigga.
That's
I don't
it.
care how much money you got. I don't care how many followers you got. I don't care how many checks is coming to you.
Still nigga.
Let me tell you something. You still not gonna get invited to the country club. You still not gonna get that fruitcake at Christmas from
That's
them.
right.
You still not gonna get the plate of potato salad with the raisins in it. You still a nigga.
Man.
You understand
yes,
what I'm saying?
Mr. Serv, man. Thank you for coming on the show, man.
No problem.
How can people get a hold of you if they're trying to rock out?
Oh man, they got me, Mr. Serv. You know, Mr. Serv on No Limit Records on Instagram, and look forward to Vibe World, man.
Vibe World,
Vibe World, everything. I got to get y'all headphones.
Make
Vibe
sure you
World
get them
audio.
over here. I'm gonna put them on. I'm gonna wear them.
Yeah, we gonna do. And we did some big things. Vibe World Sports Agency. We got
shout out to Larry Hoover Jr. We gotta
get that straight. Get all that done with Larry, man. With Larry Hoover Jr., man. Big time situation.
I love you guys, man.
Get all that thing connected and get all that stuff straight. You know. But we did some great things, man. We got some young men that's going to these NFL teams, realizing their dreams and stuff like that, man. And Vibe World is a vibe, and this is who we are.
Thank you so much. I just say, man, I love the invite last night. I hadn't never been to one, and to see you go up on that stage and the energy that you brought, all the energy that all of No Limit brought, and even Webby, even though the lights went off for a second.
You
know what I'm
Webby
saying?
had it so hot, the lights went off.
Webby was up there on that mic, man. But I just loved it, man, and I want to tell you, thank you, man. Thank you for inviting
y'all was supposed to be outside waiting, man. Man. I can't have that.
No, he brought us through. They with me. I love it when God show up and show out. I'll just say that.
One thing, man, mental health awareness month is right now.
Wow.
And a lot of black men out there, man, please, man, y'all see this. Go talk to somebody. And if you know that a black man around you has problems and whatever, be there for him. Help him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be a big push, man. Our black men, go talk to somebody, man.
Talk to somebody.
Drugs, alcohol, or even think about hurting yourself. We'll talk to somebody.
Man, check it, man. Hey, man, make sure you guys get into this comments, man. Mr. Serv just killed this interview, man. Check this next clip out. You got to get this next clip. It's going down. Mr. Serv showed out on Boss Talk 101.
And Rain from him.
Man,
I love you, Rain.
man.
I love you, baby.
It's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.
And we out.